Mike. I want the gods to feed me anabolic. I want them to feed me anabolic. Tattoo was a success yesterday. 12 hours in. I got 4 more hours to do, so 16 hours on this tattoo. I just want you to know that Bigfoot is real, and we are going to fucking hunt him. We are going Bigfoot hunting, and we're going to start this. We are going to start Bigfoot hunt for Sam Swain. Fucking Sam Swain. He's real. The big man is real. I just want you to know that. And everybody needs to know that Bigfoot is real. So, I will hunt him. And I will find him. And find proof. I love you. Call me back.
Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground. Shit.
Radio Underground, episode 86. 14 more and we'll get 100. 4 more on YouTube, and we'll have 100 subscribers.
Subscribe.
I'm Mike.
Wait, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at my phone.
That's all right. That's Al.
Yo.
And Brian is here as well.
I never get tired of listening to that Aaron recording.
Because we're going to do the Bigfoot hunt.
Yeah.
For sure.
We will find him.
All the chatter about it has not died down at all, except we haven't mentioned it once since last Saturday.
Yeah. People are going crazy in the streets. When I go to Walmart, they're like, Mike, we can't believe you guys are going to finally prove that Bigfoot's real.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys, the Bigfoot hunting community is trying to sabotage us.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been trying to stop it because they don't want non-pros to find what they can't.
Yes.
But they don't. We've talked about it before. We are huge coast to coast AM fans.
Yeah.
So you might have been Bigfoot hunting longer, but you haven't been paranormal listening longer.
No, we've been studying the art.
We know what we're doing.
Paranormal investigations.
It's true.
For ages.
I'd also like to give a good rest in peace to Larry King, the greatest interviewer that was also really ugly.
He was super ugly.
But
he's a good interviewer. Yeah.
He was actually a really good interviewer.
Yes, he was.
Larry King, no political bias on either side.
He just did
everybody went on his show. He, the tweet storm that was his, today, his death was just amazing. How many different people, No,
he didn't care if you were a full-on communist or a white nationalist. He would like, well, what is your view? Why do you see it this way?
He didn't care.
Treated everyone well.
Yep.
He liked everyone.
He was, like you said, he was 87, but he looked 87 in 87.
Exactly. That was my note. He looked 87 back in 87.
Yeah.
But it was like the LeBron James thing. We talked about how LeBron looked 33 at 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he looks 33 now that he's pushing 40.
Yeah.
And he'll look 33 15 years from now.
Yeah.
Some people are that way.
Yeah, just Larry King was not blessed with, looking. Yeah. But he was married 8 times.
Hey.
And
how many times?
8.
That's old school.
That's Zsa Zsa Gabor levels.
Yeah, he was married 8 times. And the one he had a couple of kids with, one of the more recent ones. Because he's got some kids that are they're in their 20s, I think.
Wow.
Oh,
they're young.
They're
They're young.
Well,
that wife was I'm like, when I saw her, I was like, no way.
That's some prime eggs that could receive that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way he married that. She's like, yeah, I'm in love with Larry King's hotness.
Yeah, Larry King wasn't like a...
Because she was like 30 and he was like 50 or something.
She probably married him because of his interviewing skills.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Can you imagine? He probably had to interview her to talk her into bed. So what I'm going to do, what do you feel about sleeping with a guy like me?
I'm filthy rich.
But
okay.
That's old school though to get married 8 times. Those old school guys think like, I can't whore around. I gotta marry. Oh, dude, just whore around.
Yeah, right.
If you're gonna go that way.
Yeah.
Don't marry 8 times, Larry.
No, Larry.
All that all that alimony.
They keep on taking you for money. You're gonna end up like Paul McCartney and fucking get taken every single fucking time.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney is still super rich, but he's given away half twice
because he refuses to do prenups.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Bezos.
God.
The richest woman in the world is rich because she married him.
Yeah.
Well, they were married before he got big, right? Before he got
so that means he was going to have to give it up.
Yeah.
That money.
Sometimes when they get the money, I get it because they were there before they broke big. Like Mel Gibson's wife, was with him like in like 1977 or something.
Yeah.
So when they finally split up like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe longer, I don't remember now. It's like she had 30 years in, and she ended up getting like $200 million.
Yeah, and who knows what she had to put up with?
Yeah. You don't know.
Call her sugar tits when you get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just as
You're not
I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah,
you're not hanging out with the Jews, are you?
Look at your nose, looks a little bigger.
Oh God.
Yeah, we lost some pretty big ones the last few days. So.
Yeah, so before I move on from the Larry King thing, I had a sound bite from Sam Kinison arguing with Jessica Hahn, who was also one of his. They slept together, so they had bitterness towards each other.
Well, she did the video with him.
Yeah. And so she calls into Larry King, and they start arguing, and it's fucking hilarious. So I had to play. This is my favorite Larry King moment. I love it.
I don't care much for
Are you still in love with Jessica Hahn? Were you ever in love with Jessica Hahn?
I was never in love. We had a short affair because checkout time was 2. But, well, she's an interesting person.
She's not dull.
Not dull.
We'll return.
So they go to a commercial, and when they come back, it cuts to her call. So that's what I didn't edit it this way. That's how it was on the video.
With Sam Kinison. And
yeah, Sam. You want to
this
talk
is Jessica
about
Hahn.
Wide?
Well, nobody said I was thin.
Hey,
nobody said I was thin.
Sam, let me just remind you.
I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So I would both agree never to speak to each other again.
Hold on, Sam. What do you wish to say, Jessica? Hold on, Jessica.
Larry, I mean, the guy goes into Las Vegas. He does a 10-minute act to me. He slanders me. You know, you can expect a call from my lawyer.
What do you...
Yes, Sam, you don't want me
to... Get a liar.
Yeah,
get a liar.
You're a spineless, talentless has-been. You talk about Dice. Dice will make it way before you do, Sam.
Good. Anything else, Sam?
What went wrong between you two?
His big mouth.
Sam.
Well, let's don't talk about big orifices of the body.
Hey, let me tell you something, Larry. When my mother died, the guy got on the phone and started screaming at me over the air on the Howard Stern show. And, you know, the guy has no class. And, I mean, I thought he was a great comedian, but anymore, his stuff is old. Your material's old. You're old.
Listen, why don't you find a life?
Why don't you find a life?
And leave me and Jim Baker alone.
Yeah. Why don't you
get a career? Get on a soap opera or something. All you do is kiss and tell. That's your whole life.
No, Sam, that's what you do on stage.
That's your whole life, Jessica. Get a job.
Sam,
go to car wash.
You make thousands of dollars.
You know, be a cashier at a car wash or something. You know, do something
productive. Sam, you make thousands.
Instead of making all this money kissing and telling.
Larry, he makes thousands. Larry, he makes hundreds of thousands of dollars using other people's problems.
What a way to end our week in L.A. Just keep going, Jessica. Thank you, Sam.
He uses other people's.
Okay, thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Sam.
For all the memories.
Kinnison handled that real maturely.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about wide orifices or what is
let's talk about huge orifices.
Why did he say? He kept on saying car wash.
It's to you young kids. He said the Jim Baker was a televangelist that she slept with.
Yeah,
and it was a big thing because he was part of the Christian Coalition.
She worked for the PTL.
Yeah,
which was his religious organization.
That's the oil organization, right?
Yep.
Oh,
and then slept with him.
Yep.
And then he's like he said, kiss and tell. She blew it all up.
Then Sam goes. Sam's like, is that all you do is kiss and tell? He goes, leave me and Jim Baker alone.
I know, that's great.
That's funny. The two polarities. It's two different people that she slept with. the devil and then the religious guy.
Yeah, that's a wide spectrum there.
Yeah, so that means
Jessica
would sleep with anyone, I guess.
He kind of called it right. He's like, oh, you know, the only thing you know how to do is kiss and tell. You know.
Yeah, that's how she made it.
It is.
She was in Playboy. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
She was
I remember that also.
pretty
I remember it because I just looked at it.
Yeah.
Did
She
you?
had some
I
genetic
accidentally.
gifts, no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no question.
How did she get her job working for the PTL?
She was a very religious woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
She provided what do you call? She made men speak in tongues.
Yeah.
So
motorboating.
Yeah. She definitely moved up the ladder.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way. All right. I don't know. What's my next note?
Well, the Larry King thing, real quick.
Yeah.
Another Larry King thing. You guys, I don't think you guys watch Community, but one guy from Community, Danny Putty, who is a Indian, not Native American Indian, but an Indian from India and like Irish or something. He's weird mix, but he was on Larry King, and Larry King's like, what's a thing you can't live without? And he's like, I like really good coffee. He's like, no, like a luxury thing that you really like. And he's like, I like really good socks and like just really good coffee. He's like, that's not luxury stuff. He's like, what's luxury thing, Larry? He's like private planes and stuff. He's like, Larry, I'm on DuckTales. I don't have a private plane.
Yeah, right.
And he's just so matter of fact about it. He's like, I'm on DuckTales.
DuckTales.
You know.
That's hilarious.
But the same thing. He interviewed anybody, and he always got, most of the time he got a pretty good interview out of it.
Here.
Yeah.
There you go,
A luxury you can't live without.
A luxury I can't live without. Coffee. I really like good
It's
coffee.
not a luxury. You can get it anywhere.
I guess, yeah, I like good coffee.
I love coffee, too.
I like nice socks.
Socks. Your socks, what you put in your shoes?
Yeah, I really love them. I like kind of like, cozy feet.
You're attracted to your socks.
I'm attracted to really nice running socks. Like, I'm always looking for good running socks.
That's not a luxury, though. Coffee and socks are not a luxury.
All right, give me a luxury. What luxury should I have?
Private plane.
Larry, I'm on DuckTales.
That's awesome.
It was so good. He's a funny dude. I just
Larry,
I'm on DuckTales.
Yeah, who the hell do you think you're talking to, Larry?
Yeah. I mean, he's been in a couple TV shows.
I'm not
mostly
Donald Trump.
Like voice acting and stuff.
Yeah.
He makes a good living, but he's not
Right,
super rich.
I don't have private jets.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Rip Larry King.
Hilarious. Get it?
So, yeah.
Hilarious.
Anybody else die?
Hilarious. Yes. Well, yesterday was Hank Aaron, right?
Hank Aaron died.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Yep, Hammer and Hank.
I forgot about that. I completely didn't even put that in the notes.
Well,
That's kind of important.
Yeah, no,
I was a baseball fanatic when I was a kid.
He's like a very important. He was huge in baseball. I mean,
sort of. Yeah, he kind of has.
I mean, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, but I mean, Hank was he broke Babe Ruth's record and was threatened to be killed for it.
Well, he didn't have no right to beat that record.
Right. He was black.
Yeah, you want a white man on top.
Dude, I mean, oh God, it was like watching like the ESPN they were showing some of the letters he would get.
Oh God, yeah.
Can you imagine his Twitter?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
But he had not on top of 22 years in the majors, every single year but his last year he was an all-star.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
But he never they said he didn't get talked about for years, all the time with all the greats, because he was in Atlanta.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of players.
But
or if you're from New York and they like you and they want you to be the guy, then that's Mickey Mantle was probably the most insanely powerful power hitter. Like, he hit shit over the roof and everything.
Yeah.
But he was portrayed as he was stronger than all of them. But the best player at his time was actually Willie Mays.
Yeah.
But Willie Mays played, in fucking Candlestick Park and
right.
And no one, it just kind of, he didn't have the
hype.
Even
they talked about Willie Mays versus Hank Aaron. They were Willie Mays was flashier, but he wasn't like, if you look at like statistically, Hank Aaron's far better. I mean, more consistent. And
every single year in, year out.
What's his
they both are really good fielders and everything else.
Yeah. The guy from ESPN, Tim Kirkjian from ESPN, said that he's the third. He's literally the third best right fielding defenseman I have ever seen. And that, there's a lot of different people. He's that's a lot. That's
right behind Bobby Higginson.
Hey, don't knock Bobby Higginson.
I think he was like
1996.
I think he was referring to like Al Kaline and
Al Kaline.
But he said like people would talk about like Hank Aaron. Well, he never hit 50 home runs. No, he hit 40 every single year.
Yeah, until even when he's old, he's still cranking.
He
40.
hit 40 again after he hit the 715 because he ended up with 755. You know?
Exactly.
And then he retired and spent 40 years in the Braves organization in some capacity after that. So
but what did he do?
And on top of it, like tons of successful businesses.
So what?
Yeah, I know. He really was
unaccomplished loser.
Yeah,
I hate people that do everything good.
Yeah,
they aggravate me. Make me feel like not a man at all. Yeah, they do that, and then they have philanthropy too.
Yeah, they do everything.
And they're like, they're overseas feeding starving kids and carrying them out of fucking war-torn. Like, can you not be great at everything, please?
He
do something shitty.
He broke the home run record 74.
Yeah, it was 347 days old.
The two hippies ran out there, like shook his hand.
Yeah.
So after that, because that was near the end of the season,
right?
He hit, I think, one more that season.
Yep.
And then he hit another.
Like 39 the next year or something.
No, he played 2.5 more years.
Oh, he played 2 more years, didn't he?
Yeah.
So because he started to have.
Because his final years was like 12 home runs, 10 home runs.
Yeah.
His batting average dropped too, and he finally like, I've been playing this game.
Because he retired in 76.
Long.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But career 305 batting average.
Mm-hmm. He had like
3,700 hits. 3,700 hits.
Yep.
The top 2 guys are at 41 and 4,100, almost 4,200.
Yeah.
So he's right there.
Yeah, and he had 2,700 bases. He's got great. His numbers are like, I mean, he's top 5.
Okay, and stolen bases, 240 stolen bases, which is
it's
still technically above average.
That's still that's like 10 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
He was
it's
just
like
an all-around good player.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they were if you guys get a chance, Tim Kirkjian did like a thing about him yesterday, and it's really good. It talks about like how he started, and his old man hauled ice with the big.
I read
clamps,
his biography. Yeah,
with the big clamps, he would haul it upstairs and stuff.
Yeah,
and he's like, my dad had these big hands and wrists, and he's like, and he would work with them, and that's what people said. They're like, he had these huge hands and these huge wrists, and he batted. He could switch hit. And he thought he was going to be a switch hitter if he made it to the bigs. But he held the bat wrong. He held his hands opposite.
Really?
Yeah. And he was still successful at that. And then when they taught him, when he got to the bigs, they showed him how to hold it properly. And then from there, it was just consistent. But they were like, that was part of the reason that he was because his wrists and his hands were so big and strong that that was how he just consistently kept hitting and playing so well for so many years like that.
My right wrist is real strong.
Yeah. Mine too.
Masturbation.
Yeah.
But it's. I read that biography back in I think it was probably junior high. Really good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Really good stuff. I was into a baseball biography stuff, so I read like that, Ty Cobb's biography, a bunch of other stuff, some Ernie Harwell books.
Yeah, Ty Cobb, he was a nice guy.
Ty Cobb was a sweetheart of a man.
Ty Cobb liked kids, though.
Yeah, he did.
It's
funny.
He just hated people.
That's
people. Yeah, that's usually they have one weakness about them that makes them human.
Yeah.
But then everything else about them is like terrible.
Actually, donated millions of dollars to charities too, because he owned so much stock in Coke. He was basically the equivalent of $100 millionaire by the time he died. He'd given away stock or donated so much stuff.
He like back in
today's dollars.
They didn't make shit, but he would save like 75% of his pay.
Mm-hmm.
if people are like, let's go out and do this and that, and he's like, screw you guys, you know, I'm saving my money. He invested it because he knew he knew the game of baseball. He wasn't going to ever make really any money.
You can't play forever, even though he played like 256 years.
And everyone hated him, so he knew he couldn't go like be an announcer or be a guy that worked for the.
Oh no,
he was just not liked by anyone.
No,
yeah. And then by that time, hey, what's up, Kevin? What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
And
what's up?
He softened up a lot after baseball was over, but
he was.
He hated the home run.
He hated the home run.
Yeah.
He hated people that lived in tropical areas.
Yep.
Or hotter.
Yep.
He
he liked sliding into people with sharpened spikes.
Yeah, he was he beat up a guy with one arm or something.
Yeah, that's true.
So he didn't like handicap.
Yeah, he was an ableist, I guess you could say.
Like you
That's
said,
what they call him
like you said, he loved kids.
Well,
He
think
just
about
hated
his
people.
upbringing, what he had to see growing up. His mom murdered his dad.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why that would make.
He saw it. Allegedly, I don't think he saw it though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the dude when they finally made a movie about him,
Tommy Lee Jones as a young man,
and he's like, and they're driving through that snowstorm, and there's a guy, help! He goes, pick him up. He's like, fuck him, and he tried to
like up in Tahoe or something.
Yeah, and they're like, stop the car.
That was actually a pretty decent movie too. But it's just like
pretty
when
good.
they had Tommy Lee Jones plays him at like 17, or when he basically started playing professional ball. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
he's
right.
going to get Roger Clemens is pitching to him.
Yeah,
they gave Roger. I don't know.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be like I don't know, Christy Mathewson or something. I don't know.
And then he was he goes, did you talking shit watching Radio Underground
taking
live?
a shit
Okay,
yeah,
best Saturday ever.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We want everyone to watch us when you take a shit.
Yeah.
If everyone watched us when they just even if they took a shit, that's a few minutes. That adds to our.
That's viewership.
That's total time watch and hits.
And I'm not saying it's true, and I can't prove this, but our show will make you more regular, and you will you'll shit better if you listen to us.
And I base this on
while taking a shit.
I base this on absolutely no medical professional opinion, just that it will.
You know, I was gonna talk about it later, but Kevin, I won't say where he works, but Kevin works in the I think he does CT scans and all that.
Yeah.
And I got my first CT scan.
Oh, I've never had one either. That's weird.
And I'll tell you guys what happened real quick. Me being usually I'm a hypochondriac, but you know how I've been having the throat MRI. Okay, I got a CT scan. That's a different thing. Anyway, you kind of know what a CT scan.
You just
is.
ruined the whole segue, Kevin.
Thanks.
Never mind. It never happened. I'm fine. All right, I'll go have to get hit in the knee so I can
just lie for us, please.
Yeah.
We need it.
So I had I've been having issues with the throat and my allergies and all kind of shit for a long time, and I'm like, man, why does this just keep happening? Like, it just won't go away. And some days it's okay. Like right now, I'm a little stuffy, but I'm all right. Well, finally, I got to the point where I was like cleaning my nose, and I felt a bump, like a marble right here. I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, I could feel it. And then I did what you should never ever do: is you Google.
Okay.
Oh, right.
And they're like, sinus cancer. It's one of the worst ones. It's the one that takes you out. Like all these people, like with their face removed and just awful. And I'm like, just people that, and I'm like, oh no. And I go to the doctor hoping like normal for him to feel it and be like, oh yeah, it's nothing. It's, whatever. He's like, feels it. He goes, yeah, you're going to have to get that looked at. I'm like,
he like feels it. He's like, huh.
Yeah. He did and then I went to,
what does that mean?
Yeah. I went to ENT. Then the ENT guy goes, it feels like bone. He goes, but maybe you broke your nose when you're younger. But I do want you to get the CT scan because we want to be sure. I go get the CT scan, and the guy doing the scan was just flaming gay. He's like, "How you doing?" I ain't gonna say his name, but he said his name, and it was just I'm back in high school just trying to, because he's just so gay. And then he's like laying there, and they go to put me through the donut, and where my shoulders are wide, I want to go in. I'm like, he's like, oh wait, hold on. And then he pulls me out of it. He goes, I can't believe you didn't fit through there like that. He's like, he's like,
you fat fuck. Why wouldn't you fit through there?
Well, his quote is that it like goes 400-pound people fit in there. I have abnormally wide shoulders. He goes, he goes, you're overweight. He goes, but you're just a big dude. He goes, I can't believe. He goes, put your arms like this, and I went like this. So I'm like in the thing, and they do the scan. He gets me out of there, and he says, my doctor said it'll take 72 hours, and they'll only call you if something's wrong. So 72 hours. This was Friday at about 1. I had it done.
Okay.
8:00 that night. I get a call. And I'm like, oh God! I'm sitting there like,
I'm
so fucking dead.
I'm dead.
And
Do I got my will in order?
Yeah, and to make it worse, it's someone that knows me personally. It's the niece of Ron and Kathy across the street.
Oh, okay.
Their niece. And she's like, Mike, are you home? I'm like, yeah.
Are you sitting down?
Yeah. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. She like said, I'm sorry. Like, oh no. She goes, yeah, you got a bone spur in your nose. I'm like, oh God, you scared me to death. I thought it was
a bone spur in your nose.
And I go, you scared me to death. She goes, well, it's you got to go back to the ENT because I guess some people it gives them migraines. Like, I don't care. I was worrying about something a lot worse than a damn bone spur.
Yeah. You guys called me 7 hours later.
Yeah, they called me 7 hours later when I was supposed to wait 72 hours. I thought I was dead. I thought that was it for me.
Dude, all I can think about is the gay guy
and
how he probably sounded when he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you can't fit in there."
Yeah, and I had to do like this.
That's funny.
And then so I got a bone spur, and then I got tonsil stones, so that's why my throat's sore all the time. So I got tonsils, so I'm probably gonna have to get this shaved, possibly my tonsils removed, which is horrible when you're an adult.
Yes, it is.
It's like a 2-week recovery. It's gonna be off. So I don't know if I'm definitely, and probably my wisdom teeth too.
Oh, you've never had them out either.
Now, so I'm not going to do, obviously you can't do it all in a year, but I'm probably the first thing to go is going to be the wisdom teeth. Then maybe I'll go with the tonsils going to be, I'm putting that off. That's the furthest if I ever do it.
Yeah.
I never heard of tonsil stones, but okay.
Well, I was actually, that's funny you bring it up because my boss, the same lady who had COVID earlier last year, she would get tonsil stones and, her tonsils are gone, but you can still get stones where they were.
Yeah.
And it's basically just build up a calcium.
Yeah.
So, but you can also get nasal stones.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing. So that's why I'm wondering if your bone spur might be a nasal stone.
Well, and another thing, the medication I take for asthma dries up your salivary glands.
Yeah.
Which makes it worse.
Ivan salivary?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically, I got to get a bunch of bone shaving and whatever if I do it. But they did say nothing about this is like life threatening. It won't turn to cancer or nothing like. But they're just it's shit that like it's gonna bother me the rest of my life unless I do something about it.
But now they put you on like some kind of immune support.
No, I'm on.
Or you're on it.
I'm on immune support because I just this is something I read that if your immune system's a little better, the bacteria is less, and it can make the stones not appear. But that's another thing. I was looking because I don't know what a tonsil is. I'm not a doctor, and I'm looking in there, and I see a hole in my back of my throat. I'm like, oh God,
yeah,
that's it. It's eating my face up. I'm doing the whole thing.
Well, you don't have tonsils because the aliens took them.
Yeah, they should have never gave you a mirror to look.
But I pressed them, and then 3 stones went and just fell out because I wanted to feel what it was like. I'm like, oh, those are tonsil stones, I bet. So I got whatever.
Dude, for real, and they just fell.
Yeah, they come out pretty easier than you think. Watch videos, people will just And anyway, so I got all the fat people disorders.
So what are you taking for immune support? Yeah, you taking multivitamin still, right?
No, I don't take a multivitamin because the multivitamins give me heart palpitations.
Oh, okay.
But I'm on zinc, high dose of vitamin D3.
Yeah.
And a moderate dose of vitamin C because vitamin C makes my heartburn.
Vitamin C is horrible for the heartburn. Yeah.
It used to be for years that they would tell you not to take too much vitamin D. Now they're like, no, you need a lot more than we thought. We were wrong.
Well, especially if you live where it's winter 4 months out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But they say even people who live in sunny areas, if they're not out in the sun like every day, they still can have some.
What about like elderberry and stuff?
I don't take any of that.
What about member berries?
If you're black or if you're a darker person,
I am not.
You need vitamin D more than really bad.
Yeah,
because like we can make by with a little bit of sun. We're like the Swamp Thing. We grow parts.
Yeah.
We get a little bit on our face and we're okay. But if you get you have to take it though during the winter. Most people.
Yeah.
Now as a kid, funny when I was a kid, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, you get sick, and before everyone got paranoid about COVID and everything, I remember I would get sick. If I was sick, I made sure to go to work. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm stuck at home. I don't want to be sick at home.
Yeah.
I would go work sick because I'm not using a day off.
You just get bundled up and you sweat it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you do it.
Or then you go, I'm gonna go lift weights. I'm gonna sweat. Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of this.
Right.
Realize you're just making it 10 times worse.
So much worse.
Yeah. I'll do some squats. Then your training partner, I'm sick too, dude. What the fuck?
Well, you're right though, going to work because, well, especially like you. I mean, you're around people, but
yeah, I'm in a truck.
You're in a truck. You're on the road a lot, so you're not really around people for long periods of time. Plus, if you get too overheated, you're in and out of the truck, so you're cooling down when you go out, and that's good for your body, right?
In and out, yeah.
Yeah.
Temperature change all day is great. It's
great.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. Yeah.
Yeah. You
And
sweat
stress from being cut off, that's also good.
Yeah.
Then you don't sleep the night before because you felt horrible. Less sleep, so you're really building it up.
This is all sound.
Owen
medical
had-
advice from
Yeah.
people who have no
Chris
medical
says-
credentials.
Owen had tonsil stones really bad. He ended up getting his tonsils removed.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but when you're a kid, it's a lot easier than when
When
you're our age.
Yeah,
it's really bad getting tonsils done at our age.
Yeah, basically a kid has like a 2 to 3 days of pain, and then in a week they're okay.
Yeah.
They say it's like adults, if you're like over 30, it's like 2 weeks of agony.
Yeah.
Potentially 3 weeks off work. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
Both my kids had theirs done at the same time or same age, about 4 years old. And the surgery center where they go, which is right down the street here, like 12 Mile, they go there and they always do surgeries for this stuff on Tuesdays. So they had surgery Tuesday, and by the end of the week, like Friday being the end of the week, going into Saturday, they were
So they
back
both
to
had
normal.
they both had them out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tonsils and adenoids.
So if I do it, because I don't know, I mean, it's not horrible. It's just it's inconvenient. It's not. I can live with it.
So you're thinking like first
I want my
wisdoms.
wisdom teeth because that is cutting into my jaw.
and then you're thinking maybe after that, see how the bone spur.
Yeah, the nose. I don't know if as long as I don't get headaches, I may never tend to that. As long as it doesn't obstruct my breathing or.
Yeah,
I'm not tending to it.
Right. No, I didn't know those were a thing. Now I'm thinking I want to get my nasals checked out because I don't want to get any fucking headaches anymore. I wonder if that's what I got going on.
You could have polyps and shit in there. If you're someone that you have sinus issues every now and then, right? That your shit could be built up.
Yeah.
They could get you could get your stuff shaved down too. I remember Chris had.
I'm never doing that fucking surgery Chris had.
That one's another brutal one.
That surgery that Chris had like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost for that shit. Fuck that.
They
They'd be
shave your sinuses down.
Well, they broke his fucking nose and then did all that stuff and then packed it full of gauze and never.
But sounds fun.
It worked for Chris. That's cool. I saw what he went through. Thanks for showing me and teaching me. But I will never,
fun, man.
ever have that surgery.
Yeah.
Even if doctor's like, it'll make you live 20 years longer. Kill me. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll die at 55. Big deal. Yeah. So he said that was horrible. Yeah, and you were young.
Yeah.
Imagine going into something like that at our age, Chris.
No.
Yeah, I worked with somebody, and I think it was at the last place I was at. It was that had to have him out, and he was like 33 or 34 years old, and he was gone like for a while because they were like, "Oh, we don't think he's coming back. We think he was." I go, "Well, I don't know. I heard the tonsils take a while, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he's like, man, well, it was a nightmare." And he was a smoker too.
Oh yeah, so
he quit smoking. He's like, I couldn't even, he's like, I wanted to smoke so bad that when I was first, but he couldn't at all,
There's two reasons for me to do it. Besides the stones, obviously, I've never had tonsillitis, thank God, but it can help with sleep apnea, which I have. So if I get them taken out and I would gladly go through 2 weeks of hell. I would gladly go for 2 weeks of hell just to get it done with.
Yeah, we were having a party and Chris had just had surgery.
Wait,
and
didn't
he lived in a duplex? We lived in a duplex, and he was the other unit of the duplex.
Yeah.
And he just walked in.
Right, he had it like he got black eyes from that, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I remember him coming in. I think I was there that night.
We were partying and being loud, and he walked in and looked at us and just walked out.
Because I remember him.
What's your problem, dude?
Black eyes.
I'm sure Frank said something like that. What's your problem?
Yeah, or Nick. You're killing our vibe, man.
I do remember we did. I think at that point we did turn stuff down.
Dude.
Hey, at least we didn't kill you like the lady next door.
That's so bad.
Right.
That woman. I remember Chris told us that story.
Yeah.
That woman, she left and she was afraid to say anything that we had scared her all the time with parties.
Yeah, because she thought you were going to.
But we were really nice people.
What's up, Morgan? What's going on?
What's up?
Anabolic Bigfoot hunt. We're doing it.
Anabolic.
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
Yeah, that poor woman. I mean, and we didn't have that was back when we had actual parties. Like, you invite your core group of people, and then they all bring a person or two, and then it turns into a snowballs, and it happened all the time.
We'd end up with $40 or $50 worth of returnables.
Yeah.
He's back in that Destiny kick, bro.
Then I would always get mad at everybody for partying because I got drunk, and people would break stuff.
Yeah.
And then, they had no right to break stuff. Then I would break stuff because people broke stuff. And finally, Brian was like, dude, you're a fucking asshole. I'm like, what? And he fucking kind of bitched me out a little bit, and I was like, I kind of needed to hear that.
I think that was the night you kicked in the glass on the door.
Yeah. I was like, and then we got in each other's face outside, and we're screaming, yelling at each other, and then I kind of thought about it. I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of being
I totally was right.
Complete kind of an asshole.
So I got a question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Were you out in Novi at all this week?
Yeah.
And did you buy a Mega Millions?
No.
You didn't go into the Kroger and buy a Mega Millions?
No. So you are not the billionaire.
No, I didn't win. I forgot to tell you guys I didn't win.
Oh.
I didn't think you did.
Because I was really getting excited that we were going to see the show that is Morgan and Jeff in Malibu.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I were to win, Morgan and Jeff would have that money. They could be my lackeys, and you could live large. You'd be millionaires. You'd be my manservants. Do whatever you want. You could have all the fun you want, all the money you want, but you have to live together.
Yes.
Yes.
And me and Alan kind of expanded on it too. What you should do, you've seen Idiot Abroad with Carl Pilkington and Ricky Gervais when they sent Carl, their guy, off on those little trips. You ever seen that, Mike?
Yep.
Do that. We pick 3 trips a year that they have to go on. And it's our pick.
Yeah,
we get to film it all and
make them go to Venice. Not Venice Beach, Venice. And they had to get in the boat.
I was like, we're gonna send them to India, and Craig, I can't remember who said, they're like, oh, that'd be pretty cool. I'm like, no, shit, India, the worst part of India.
Like when you get off the plane and then you have to get on a train for 12 fucking hours.
Yep, you're not going to see
or a bus.
You're not going to see the temples and all the nice jungle and all this cool stuff. You're going to see the shit river that they washed themselves in and stuff.
You're getting on one of them rape trains.
Have you ever seen Slumdog Millionaire? Slumdog. You're gonna be like Slum Dogs. That's what it is. You're living in slums.
Here, you guys can go on the. You guys get off here and then get on the rape train.
What's the hottest?
12 hours.
What's the hottest time of year in Australia?
Ooh.
Because that's when they're going to Australia. And the outback.
They're not going to Sydney. They're going to one of those Northwest territories.
Yeah, they're going like the Dingadoo and. I can't even think of it. They have the weird, stupid names.
They're going to the places that are so horrible that there's not even crocodiles.
Yeah. You're going in the height of summer. That's what they would do. But you get to live in Malibu the rest of the year, so
I would end up killing them. That's the point. You guys killing each other.
We get to film it. So
right.
This
is the reality TV show that they came up with that I am totally supporting 100%.
It'd be kind of a mix of what was the show. It was Robin Black, right? That they did. Rob Dyrdek.
Yeah.
When him and his bodyguard lived together. It'd be like that, except you guys are super white, both of you.
Yeah.
And you're not rich. Yeah, and also you don't skateboard.
Yeah, and Jeff didn't buy Morgan like Rob did. He bought a black man for a friend.
That's true. It's true. And also, ours would be like real. Like their shit was all fake. You know that. Come on.
Yeah, the Robin Big, I did like that show a lot.
Yeah.
I did. I was entertained by it. But it was like a modern version of The Toy.
It really was.
I bought a black man today.
Master Bates.
Master Bates.
We
need to get GoPros on the video hunt. Of course.
Yeah.
That's the idea. I'm not going to walk around with my iPhone. I'm getting a good GoPro, and maybe someone will bring a real camera. Your son's got a good camera, right? To get footage.
Yeah.
And then we can do that. Jeff has to bring that Zoom recorder, and he has to record an episode of Hillbilly Havoc as we're walking.
Be the best sound quality.
So to get that vintage Hillbilly Havoc quality.
I'm telling you, I've been looking at the infrared FLIR.
While we're all out of breath hiking up stuff.
The FLIR cameras, FLIR, which is the infrared, so you can see stuff. Parabolic mics aren't that expensive anymore.
No, they're not.
I mean, you can get like 2 of them for like $350, $400, which is actually pretty good. And trap cameras are pretty cheap. Man, we got this covered.
Yep. So I was just trying to think of like,
Should we go in like December? It'd be perfect time of year.
Should we go? I was thinking like, should we go with or without a guide? Because it could be funny either way. A guide that would be completely frustrated with us.
Yeah.
Or are alone and we don't know what we're doing. So
we'll end up Blair Witched or something. Also, we'll be in the middle of nowhere and we have no idea where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
We'll die, or maybe not. But
yeah, there's possibilities are endless.
It's gonna be so good. Can't wait.
Yeah, so we're gonna
antibiotics.
Gotta make sure Aaron has to bring antibiotics.
Yeah, we don't all have to do those, right?
No, just Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah,
because he wants to.
I mean, technically, I'll be off of probation, so I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah, but there's really no.
It's not worth it.
You need to do that Frank Thomas stuff that he does. He sells on TV.
Yeah.
The fuck is that called?
The who?
Frank Thomas, the former.
Oh yeah. That's Nugenics.
Nugenics, yeah.
Him and Doug Flutie and.
Yeah, I guess he gives old people really good hard-ons, but also lets them work out.
And ladies, you'll love it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're like, well, look at our husbands. We want Frank Thomas.
Yeah, I want Big Frank.
They want Big Hurt. They want to get Big Hurt.
Big Hurt.
They want to straddle. Make a big.
He's just a huge human being.
Yeah, he is.
He's really big.
I mean, he's like the height and weight of football players, but he looks bigger than football players.
Well, there was
he's just so wide
because he's been doing the Nugenics for a while, and then then they had Flutie and Andy Van Slyke doing.
Oh,
some
really?
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Andy Van Slyke is all super ripped. I mean, he's huge.
Well, even when he was a coach here,
he was
in good shape.
He's a big dude, but I mean, he was like they're showing him like with tank top, and he's like super ripped. I'm like, holy crap,
natural.
Man. Yeah, it's all natural.
He was one of those guys that when you bought a pack of cards, his card was always in there.
I had so many.
And it really wasn't worth a lot.
No.
Right.
But he was a good player. But he wasn't great. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
Same thing. I remember that, and I had about 21. I can't remember. I think it was like a 1989 Topps 21 Juan Agosto cards. I just kept getting.
I always had like was it
Brian? Brian, you can answer that question.
I had my first dose 2 weeks ago. I get my second dose 2 weeks from now.
I'm so not on the list. It doesn't even matter right now. It's not even in my wheelhouse to.
Yeah.
So no, me not anytime soon. No.
See, like your mom can get on the list real easy.
She's having trouble get on it.
Is she really?
She's filed for it, and it's like trying to get it, and not.
Huh.
But
is she because if she goes to the hospital, she goes to the one right down the street here, right?
Yeah.
So she's a patient of theirs. She should be able to get in on it really easily.
Yeah, like Dad should probably be able to.
Well, he goes to a different.
What I'm saying, like, because like Dad works as a, I mean, he's not a healthcare worker, but he's an essential worker. He works in a grocery store.
Well, they're doing just public now, but it's anybody who's older and high risk.
And he's old.
Yeah, he's old, and he's high risk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had my first dose. It was great. Second dose, I hear, is not great.
Looking forward to
this. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. Brian's going to go into convulsions.
See, I didn't have that. Oh, did you say the first dose, Kevin?
Yeah.
Because I had my arm hurt, and then I went to bed at a normal time and woke up. My arm did not hurt.
Now, Kevin, you actually had COVID though. You had you were sick with COVID.
He was.
I wonder if it was like just too much for your system to have the antibodies and the shot.
I didn't even know that they were giving it to people that had it already. I thought they were.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. So I bet you got it because you work in the field. But
yeah, I got it because they don't. I just have a badge that says I work for the company. They don't bother to check whether or not I work frontline or not.
Yeah.
So I walked in. They're like, "All right, here you go." I'm like, "Cool."
Yeah. They just probably knew you're a doctor without borders or something.
I have no borders whatsoever.
No wall.
No borders. No boundaries. I'll do whatever it takes to get that vaccine. But I know from a few people that I know personally, and then through other people that second dose is hard. Like it's like a 24-hour flu. So I'm looking forward to that because I have my second dose at 7:30 on a Thursday morning. By the end of the day, I'll probably not be feeling good, and I still have to go to work the next day, Friday. So I might be taking a day off work.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you can't. Does anything medical at all? Doesn't matter what it is. You don't watch or look it up.
No,
because it's the worst. Like, because that's how I went down that whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And then you'll see, because there's outliers. There's people that anything is going to tear up, and there's other people that's going to do nothing to you at all. And
right.
Well,
and me, I always assume I'm going to be a part of the tear up people.
And I didn't bother looking anything up. They straight up sent everybody in the system an email saying, "Hey, look, when you have your second dose, here's the symptoms you can expect and the percentages of people that get them." So I didn't bother looking it up. They straight up said, "You're going to get something, one of these things." And so far, the people have had the second dose that I know, the 5 or 6 people I know personally, have had at least 2 of those symptoms, and it's been for a day. The longest one has been up to almost the 3rd day they had their symptoms.
So that's what Kevin's saying is if you've had COVID, the first dose is worse.
See, and I don't know anybody who has had COVID and also had the vaccine yet. So besides you.
No.
Now, I know a guy that's had he had COVID, and he was asked about the vaccine after he got released from the hospital because it screwed his heart up. He says, "Do I need the vaccine?" They're like, "We don't want you to be anywhere near the vaccine for at least 9 months."
Oh, wow.
Technically he's got antibodies for quite a while, so there's no point. Plus, it could fuck him up.
Yeah. So that's exactly what happened with Kevin is he had it, and then that vaccine just, because besides the arm pain, by the end of the night, you're talking 9 hours later, it was bad, but I just popped ibuprofen and went to sleep, and it was fine the next morning.
I had a regular flu shot.
Yeah.
And I never had a problem with it, but I've had it about 5 years I've been getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Not this year, but last year I had it, and I had the for about 6 hours. I'm so cold. I just couldn't warm up.
I had technically, because my start date was last February 3rd, and then they did our flu shots in October. I had 2 flu shots in 1 calendar year, and I still had nothing going on. I had no symptoms whatsoever.
Yeah, you're invincible.
Well, I mean, but that's just recently. Like the first time I ever had a flu shot, I got sick. Like, no joke.
Yeah, when I had one in 1999, I haven't had one since then because I got so sick I had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I can't
Mine wasn't that
understand
bad.
this. They're like, I can't understand this. And I'm like, well, I can't understand it either because all I know is when I went and got it this morning, I felt fine.
Yeah.
And my stupid soon-to-be wife made me go. I remember that was the words I used. My stupid soon-to-be wife made me.
Well, the thing, I never got a flu shot until I got a really bad flu, and I had respiratory issues for it. Like I never quit coughing. Like I just coughed for a winter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it never got any better, and it was just fucking horrible. I'm like, I'm getting a flu shot next year. I'm not going through that again. And when I get sick now, like I get a cold, the main purpose of I'll still get a cold or maybe a flu, but I only feel shitty for like a day or two. It's like not like it used to be where you just every time I got a cold, it was like it was turning into like weeks.
Yeah, it was nonstop.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to do something about it. I obviously have no immune system.
Well, so like last winter, I started to get sick. I didn't feel good one weekend, and I was like, crap. And Mom and Dad were going out to the store, and I said, get me something, and Dad comes back, and I go, of course, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I specifically told you it can't be alcohol related, But,
oh, yeah.
So anyway, I took it. He got me something different.
Mm.
I took it, and then the next day, like the next morning, I felt fine. And I mean, like one other time, just more recently, I felt kind of crap, and I think it was just, but I thought that there were symptoms of like, okay, maybe I'm coming down with something.
Yeah.
But I just slept, and I was good. So I think, well, it was just that my body was run down. I mean, it's just what, I mean, I don't know. Ever since I quit smoking and everything, it's like so different. I don't feel I feel like shit a lot, but I don't feel like shit like I don't get sick.
That's just life in general, though.
Yeah, right. Because, I like don't sleep normal.
No.
Ever.
Yeah. So I had I'll never forget, though, this tonsil stone thing. I had no issues with it. Like, I went a few months with no problems because I wasn't drinking.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I went back to drinking after like 8 or 9 months, the next day my throat, oh God, it all came back. I think it dried up and made the crust and all that shit.
Yeah,
it's like fuck.
Wait,
dude.
that's whooping cough?
What he was describing with the coughing? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I got one question about the tonsil stones. You said you pushed your tonsil and stones fell out.
Yeah.
How'd they taste?
It stinks really bad.
Oh, gross.
It's bacteria.
It's gross.
It fucking stinks.
Disgusting.
Yep. And I was wondering, that's another thing. I've never been a person with bad breath. I pride myself on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But when I would wear my sleep mask, I'm like, man, I smell like a waft of shit. Like, why is this? And it didn't happen all the time, but I was like, dude, I could never make out. There's nothing. I would kill a woman right now.
It's that bad. Wow.
Yeah. But it's because it's just, it's basically shit. It's waste that.
So it might not be a bad idea to get them out just so you don't have like shit mouth, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah.
Well, they say once you start getting them, those, I think I probably had them for years because I've many times gone to the doctor like, whoa, your tonsils are big. They always would say it. Like 20 years ago, I probably should have had them ripped. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. I'm going to have to do it. I know it. It's just going to suck.
Well, when my kids had it done, the doctor, when they did Donovan's, his was first, and they did Elizabeth's 3 years later. But Donovan's, and they said to him, like, that kid had the biggest tonsils I've ever seen. And then when we had Elizabeth's done, they said, that kid had the biggest tonsils I've ever seen. I'm like, well, which one's the biggest?
Yeah, well, which one?
We need bragging rights. I got to know which one.
Yeah. Who specifically had the biggest
do you really remember the ones from 3 years ago? Were they really the biggest then, or are these the biggest?
Yeah.
No.
Come on, Doc.
Paging Dr. Faggot.
I should go. Actually, he's retired now.
I
can't ask him.
That never gets old either.
No, doesn't.
No.
On the positive note, my blood pressure is perfect. I don't know why. They took my blood pressure. Like, wow, your blood pressure is really good.
That's
I
good.
go, yeah, because I'm not worried about my blood pressure anymore. Now I'm worried about dying.
Yeah.
Regular dying. Not my blood pressure.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about heart attacks.
Regular
I'm worried
death.
about regular death.
Yeah. But dude, another thing, because there's no visitors because of COVID.
Yeah.
There's no one to advocate for people, and I don't know why this just bugged me. I guess it's proof that I'm human and I'm not pure evil. I saw this old man, like he was sitting, just decrepit, like 80 years old. He's just sitting there like
real old, like 60.
Yeah, like 50, like Al's age.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there in a wheelchair, and right by the door, like that's opening and closing as people, and he's like, I'm starting to get cold. Like,
no.
what? And then nobody's like, I'm starting to get cold. I'm from Texas. It's cold. I'm like, sir, I'll move you. I move him over by the TV, and he's like, I said, "You're from Texas?" "Oh, yeah, this is definitely different than Texas." He goes, "Well, I moved here in 1984. Like, well, so I've been kind of
you've had time to acclimate then, sir.
Yeah.
You're full of shit.
Yeah.
That's when you push him back by that door.
Yeah, like
you lied.
Yeah, you can handle this.
You've been here way too long. If you haven't acclimated,
I'm going to push you outside.
Yeah.
You're going outside.
It looks like a poppy seed they're pulling out of this person's throat.
Yeah, they're nasty, dude. And the hole that I freaked myself out and found in my throat, they're called crypts. Your tonsils have crypts.
Yeah,
and that's where it builds. It's not really a hole. It's where it collects stuff.
It's just like a crevasse.
Yeah, it's a crevasse.
Is he just moving that thing around? Like,
He's trying to get it, but he's using a loop eye type thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is that where your tonsils are? All the way back there?
Yeah.
Ah, God.
You got what? You get the tonsil stones, Kev? They suck. They hurt. My fucking ear hurts and everything from them.
Maybe I have them. I don't know.
Does it make your ears and stuff hurt?
It can.
Shit, maybe I do have tonsil stones.
But the thing was, when I looked at it, because I had all this testing and everything, my blood work, everything's perfect and everything. I got a bone spur, and I saw the hole. I'm like, they missed it. They missed it. I'm all mad.
Start panicking.
I'm like, and here I go. But no, it's whatever. But even your dentist can remove them for you. He can't remove your tonsils, but he can remove the stones.
Yeah.
But you can do them yourself. It's just, I don't know. I got kind of grossed out after I did it a couple times. Like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, dude, no way.
No.
But there's like entire.
Do they have like something you can buy at the store, a tonsil stone remover?
Yeah. I did order, Kevin, I ordered the water. It has like water pressure.
Oh.
So I don't have to actually touch them. I just kind of clean it out.
Oh, and then they end up in your belly?
Yeah, or you spit them out or whatever.
Oh, okay.
They look like white watermelon seeds.
Yeah, well,
weird.
They smell like sulfur shit seeds.
Jesus.
That's what they smell.
They smell like.
Because of course, like once
like
you got that out,
feces and
because of course, once you get it out, you got to go. Oh
God! Huh.
First thing you do is sniff them.
Yeah,
you sniff.
I mean, that's what dogs do.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to sniff them because they're in your mouth, and you can smell, through your. It's all connected, your nose and throat.
But then everything's finally, after all these years of, I would say about a year of like what's going on, why I keep having these issues. It's all coming together. It's like, oh, you're a fat pig, so now you gotta, you got the.
So
you got sleep apnea, you got bones and shit collect because you.
So you got all like the fat guy ailments.
Yeah, but except for oddly the blood pressure's under control. Whatever.
Yeah. Hey, what? I guess.
And my pulse was 57 beats. It's like, man, you got a good pulse there.
Whoa, dude, really?
57's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah.
That's actually shocking.
I just remember when George Bush Jr. when he was in the presidency, and they talked about him running every day, and he'd finish running. He'd be at like 54 after running.
Yeah,
we were like, holy shit, dude, that's insane.
I think the lowest blood pressure I ever heard of was Barack Obama's blood pressure.
Yeah,
it was like 90/52. Like his top number was 90.
He's just so chill.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it Bobby when he would go running and stuff? After he'd do like his cross country and his pulse would be like 50.
Yeah, it would be really low.
That's like.
Well, I think because my mom has and dad both, they have a naturally low pulse.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just why, like, as long as I'm not a complete pig and being horrible to my body, I'll have a low pulse. But
I carry something moderately heavy down the stairs, and my heart starts.
I have no wind. That's different. I can't work.
No, I mean, like, my heart, like, starts going. My pulse is like, I'm sure there's something severely wrong, but you know me.
Well, if you ignore it, it goes away.
Yeah, that's what I figure.
As we know.
I'm like, the longer that I'm staying kind of healthy, the better off, it fixes itself.
It's been about 13, 14 months since I gave Alan my doctor's information.
Yeah.
It's like,
yep, because it was pretty much just before the new year, because I said, in 2020, I am going to go get checked out. And then I had the perfect excuse. Well, the COVID.
You can't go.
I can't go.
But you're right, because Craig had to take, talking about no one to advocate for people and stuff, but Craig took our dad for his colonoscopy yesterday. basically just drop them at the door.
That's it.
And then a couple hours later, they call you and you just pick them up at the door.
Yeah,
you can't go in.
Neil's dad's been in the hospital 3 times in the last 3 weeks, and they keep him in there, and they keep bringing him out, and then they're like, oh, we don't know, there's nothing wrong with him, and then he comes home and he eats, and then he vomits.
See,
it's not good.
And they're like, oh well, now they're doing some tests. I'm like, they didn't do any tests before. He goes, dude, they don't. He goes, they're hardly telling us anything.
Well, that's why
he's like, and you can't be there.
That's why Jay's mom was when he told us that story last week, that was super smart of her.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of was dumb to wait another day and then fly home from a different state just to go to that hospital, kind of prolonging
risky, yeah.
But she knew that was the only way. Going to Janine's hospital is going to be the only way she'd get somebody that knew her able to check on her.
Right.
So it might have been a little bit, she might have procrastinated a little bit too much, but still it was smart in the long run.
Well, see, because his dad's always in the hospital. Yeah. So, before all this, he would just get all the information. Him and his mom would be there, and now it's like, they get little bits, and I'm like, so what, because I asked him today, I go, what's going on? He goes, I don't know. Now they're going to do some other tests and stuff. Now they're finally going to, well, how many times do they have to have him in, That's what kills me.
Yeah, sometimes they can't figure out.
Watching the fights, having a beer alone. Yeah, that sounds totally horrible.
Yeah,
I forgot that's on tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, the McGregor and Poirier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was so looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I just want to see Eminem. That's all I'm going to watch it for.
Yeah, there's a hype.
Eminem's doing the hype song for McGregor.
He's coming out with the
so.
I was just kidding. I wasn't going to watch it just for that.
Eminem doing the hype song.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not
for his best bud.
Oh, that's his best bud.
No, I don't know.
No,
man. I don't know.
Yes.
What the hell are HiveBusters?
Yes.
The HiveBusters is the New Gears of War DLC.
Oh yeah, you told me about that the other day, and I completely forgot.
New Gears of War, what?
Yeah, so
the downloadable content,
downloadable content, it's a DLC.
DLC. If you play video games, it's just when a game comes out, it has the main base game, and then they release new content. It would be like a new season. If you like a Netflix news.
Okay, so they added features. Okay, well, we have added features now. You do the downloadable
new maps and stuff.
And the characters, it's actually more interesting than the main story to me because the main story is big, like a Hollywood blockbuster, and this is like a B movie. It kind of gets right to the point.
Oh, good.
And the characters are more interesting. And I don't know.
And plus, it's Game Pass. So it's free.
Yeah, so Game Pass. It's free. You don't have to. You do not have to pay to get it if you're paying your $15 a month, which we could go into our next thing.
I was going to say before we get into that though. So, how much content are you talking about with HiveBusters?
It's if you play right through and you don't look around for everything. I just cut through it about 3.5, 4 hours.
I take my sweet ass time, so I can probably get 6 or 7 hours out of that shit.
And there's also new maps for the multiplayer, which I'm
not doing that.
You can't do Gears players have never stopped since 2006.
It's been nonstop.
It's the hardest one to There's multiplayer games that people can get into the battle royales and shit, and you can go out there and after a couple of weeks you can start doing okay.
Yeah,
but Gears no. You're going to get your shit pushed stopped. Every time you go out there. You're getting ripped apart.
15 years.
Yeah,
they've been playing this stuff. Now, what is the point of the HiveBusters?
Well, and what are your thoughts on it? Because that was the topic.
Well, my thoughts is it was actually good. I give it a 7 of 10.
Okay,
better than average.
That's a 70%.
I give it a 5 out of 7.
Yeah, 5 out of 7. And what it is General Hoffman. Remember him?
Yeah,
Colonel Hoffman. Sorry, Colonel Hoffman. Goes rogue because he feels the COG isn't focusing on this certain element. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
There's a certain element of thing that he basically gets these 3 soldiers to do his bidding, and then they figure it out. Oh, he's gone rogue. Basically, it's almost like Apocalypse Now type scenario. He's not doing with the military anymore. But then they all end up getting on the same page and realizing it's the right thing to do and blah, blah, blah. And save this indigenous peoples and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll just check that out. I got space on my hard drive now. I'll do that.
Yeah, just download it, play it, and then remove it, and then you have the space back.
Well, because I mean, Donovan had downloaded like Devil May Cry 4 and 5 from when I was on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer on Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, well, fucking delete them. I got tons of space now.
Oh yeah.
Do that. Get some Gears of War HiveBusters.
Yep. And I like to play multiplayer versus bots. You got to pee? Okay, see you, Morgan.
Cool.
Go pee.
All right, see you tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, won't see you tomorrow, but you don't even.
But
he's got to go pee.
That means
So
he's going to leave.
Oh.
Means he's out.
He's out.
So I was okay.
Yeah, it's just Morgan.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Mike?
I don't know. It's probably nothing important.
Probably nothing, yeah. So
I never say anything important on
There was
here,
something
ever.
about something, but then
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was something about something.
Morgan killed it with I gotta pee.
It's an important.
It was so important.
And for those of you who listen on the podcast only, just to reiterate, because I see that we're doing better on the podcast element.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems that we have some regular listeners if I look at the thing.
Yeah.
So for you guys that listen to the podcast only, we do live stream on YouTube. So look us up, Radio Underground. If you want to see it as we record it, you can see how handsome we all are.
See how the magic happens.
Oh, yeah.
Or just listen in your work truck so you actually have to listen, because I know on Saturday you probably have things to do that are actually cool. When you're stuck at work, we're good too.
And while we're still on the subject of Gears of War and Xbox and stuff, so like Walmart.com had a Series X's available like before I came here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get it. It's gone every time you go to log in.
But well, that's the thing. It wasn't. You couldn't buy it. The only way you could have it is if you qualified for the Xbox All Access, which is the thing where they run your credit and you pay monthly.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let you buy it outright.
I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm buying it outright because I'm already a Game Pass person. They're already getting their money.
Yeah. Well, and they don't charge you any extra. It's just flat $34.99 a month, no interest.
Yeah, I'm sure that they would roll your subscription into that.
Oh yeah,
your current shit. But
yeah.
So there was it wasn't a rumor. They were going to upcharge just the gold, Xbox Live Gold.
The monthly people, right?
Yeah, the monthly.
Yeah.
But then they rescinded it, apparently.
Yeah, they probably got some.
Because not everybody wants the Game Pass. I know they want to get everybody into that ecosystem, but you can be wrong and not get it.
Oh yeah, if you don't have it, you're absolutely wrong. You need that.
But people that want to just play actually, I think Fortnite and Modern Warfare, you don't even need X. But there are people that just want to play their online shit with their buddies and don't want to fool with the Game Pass. I guess I understand. You want to keep them in the ecosystem. You don't want them to get pissed off and leave. So you're doubling their prices.
Game Pass Ultimate for $15 a month that's a fucking steal.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody wouldn't be into it.
But yeah, and we are not paid spokespeople for Xbox. Trust me, we are not paid spokespeople. It just makes sense, the most sense.
Just click the link down below. put in our code.
Mm-hmm.
They always do
click
that.
Those banner ads.
Say, hey, Mike sent you.
Yeah. XboxLive.com/RadioUnderground.
Yep. Tell them we sent you.
They'll give you 10% off.
10% off. It's never actually a real discount.
No.
You're just getting the content creator a few extra bucks.
The only time I ever did one of those and actually got something free was Dan Carlin doing Hardcore History.
Yeah.
On Audible. You can get a free book. And that shit was legit. You get a free whatever.
It actually worked.
And I picked a free book.
Well, Carlin's a stand-up guy, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I would believe that Carlin would actually get you your free book.
But back to the price, the gouging of the Xbox. How is it? Their monthly service in comparison to like the PlayStation stuff?
Yeah.
It's still.
Well, PS Now is $20 a month.
It is $20 a month,
and it's not as good.
No.
So you're paying more for a lesser product.
So again,
back
to the PS sucks.
Yes,
right?
And PlayStation, it doesn't include like all their their exclusives. So the reason to get PS Now for me would be like, oh, I can play Demon Souls and I can play all the Bloodborne, blah, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's not included.
Nope.
They have some of that stuff on there, but generally speaking, it's not included. Demon Souls ain't. You got to buy it outright.
And I mean, I know with the current new console, the PlayStation 5, a lot of the old games are now backwards compatible.
Mm-hmm.
But up till the PS4, they were not. So there was you weren't getting any of that back catalog. Yeah. So what's the fucking point?
There is no point.
No, there is a point. Xbox is better.
Yeah, that's the overall arching point.
Yeah, that's again, we're not paid spokespeople here for.
I'm not even a video game guy, and I would buy an Xbox.
See, that's what we're going for.
See,
here. We're trying to convert you guys over.
It's definitely more accessible.
Definitely. So, the thing I want to talk about. So, I way overpaid for Lego Dimensions. Now, Lego Dimensions is a discontinued Lego game.
Yeah, I got one in my basement.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do have it. You have the pad?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my nephew, he wanted it because he got the Goonies set.
Oh, yeah.
So he was really into the Goonies because he saw the movie and loved it. So my nephew have something.
You know what? When I read that note, I'm thinking, oh, that's good that Luke finally got into the Goonies.
Yeah.
Nope, it's Matthew.
Yeah, because he was like, we finally have something. In, I'm like, what? Wait, what?
I was like, oh, that's weird. I did not even think it was the young nephew.
But it's cool. It's cool when he comes up to me and it's not like, hey, I watch SpongeBob or something I don't watch.
Yeah,
right.
And when it's stuff like I could sit there. Yeah, Sloth was dropped on his head.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it was like, yeah, we were just going through the whole thing, and he was shocked that I knew because we don't have anything in common.
Yeah,
he was shocked that I knew all the lines. Like, hey,
well, yeah,
because
I mean, how many guys your age have anything in common with
a little kid,
a 6-year-old kid, or
you would hope there'd
kid.
be nothing,
right?
Yeah, but he's obsessed with the Goonies now.
Sweet.
So so he got the Lego. He got that just by chance. He saw a Goonies toy, the Lego Dimension. He's like, I gotta have that. And then they found out it was a game. Then they don't make the game anymore because it was discontinued because it was like it failed, I guess.
I know.
How did it fail?
Don't know.
It's Legos and it's a pad and you put how
you actually have to build the thing in order for it to work in the game.
Yeah, so
that's how insane it is.
So you build Gollum, from Lord of the Rings, and you put him on the pad, and then there he is in the game.
Well, I think we have the Doctor Who set, so you had to build like a pad where you could teleport and do all those other stuff. But
I'm not even going to say what I paid for it, but I got him one that it included like everything.
Oh, that's cool.
And
you way overpaid.
Yeah, I way overpaid. And what he you can't get a digital download, so I couldn't do that. So it came with the game, the disc, and all the shit. And then what I couldn't get, my sister get. So he has like all this shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I hate Legos. I was never a Lego person. I don't hate them. I'm just no good at them. And he was so mad at me trying to put them together. I'm like, I'm not, because his dad is a Lego holic.
Yeah.
And he's expecting me, well, hey, you're an older guy like my dad. You'll know how to do it. And I'm worse than him. And he is screaming at me like I'm the biggest pile of crap. He's like, no. Like,
hey, he's looking at me and you're like, yeah, just knock the shit over and walk away.
Yeah. I basically gave up. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. You're going to treat me like the Ferris wheel operator at the county fair.
I ain't a fucking carny.
Mike's just like, do it yourself.
Don't treat me like a carny kid.
Just do it yourself and walk away.
Yep. So he's and then I told him about what ghost ships were, and he was completely shocked. He's like, "What's a ghost ship?" I was like, "Well, I told him it's totally fake because it's not real at all." But I told him what some people claim it was, and I have seen like guys in the Navy, actual naval sailors and merchant marines and shit like that. People that ship cargo across. They'll see old pirate ships. It's called ghost ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a mirage or something, but they like, holy shit, there's a ship that looks like it from the 1700s. And people do claim to see this shit. So I explained to him, he just shocked. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, like a pirate ship. Guys will see
like
it.
One-Eyed Willie's ship.
Yeah. And like, I said, at the end of Goonies, they see that. That's what they're looking at.
Yep.
He's like,
It's true.
So then I don't think he slept that night.
What was it? A few months ago, you said.
Yeah, Dark Souls.
You showed him Dark Souls.
Yeah, that was it.
I let him play the Executioner's. I showed him me beating the Executioner's chariot, and what got him was the horse. And, and it's all echoey and horrifying. And the guy he's a guy running.
Next thing you know, your sister's texting you.
Yeah,
it's like 11:30 at night. He's still awake.
He's like, and the horse said nay. That was this. It was a horrific.
Night, Kev.
Night, Kev. You
have a good
night.
day at work in the AM.
Yep.
On a Sunday.
I hope the second dose goes better than the first.
Yeah.
Whenever you get it.
Totally won't.
Sorry to hear you have to work.
Actually,
on a Sunday.
before has he left already?
No,
I
don't know.
What vaccine did you get? Did you get the Pfizer or did you get the Moderna? I just want to know. You don't have.
I think it was a little while ago when he said goodbye. Maybe not.
No, it just showed up.
Oh, okay.
That's okay if he doesn't answer it.
I would go with Pfizer because they're closer to me and they could kill me if I just respect them.
Well, there was people that around here who were getting it because it's a Michigan company.
Like, no.
It's like, fuck that. I just want whatever one's available.
Yeah,
Give me the one. I don't care. It's like, oh, you're helping the Michigan economy. I'm like, they're making $1 billion a year.
Yeah, Pfizer's going to be okay.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's not like the record store down the street or something. You know? I would support them. I don't care about fucking Pfizer.
Yeah. I know a guy that one of my customers, he worked at a place called Ann Arbor Carpet out in Ann Arbor, and he worked for Pfizer, which is out. And he said, I worked at the lab, and he goes, I just did security. I was just made sure he goes, it was totally boring job, paid pretty good, had benefits. He goes, but it was easy. He goes, occasionally, like human rights activist. He got the Pfizer.
You got the Pfizer.
Okay.
He said human rights activists and stuff like that would show up, but it just nothing, crazy. He goes, then one day I got a call. One of the lab monkeys got out.
Ooh.
He said, me and this dude were trying to capture this lab monkey. He said the dude had a net, and it jumped in the net and was like, he goes, it was just like a Looney Tunes. The net was still pulling the guy.
That's funny.
It's easier to store.
Oh. I thought the Pfizer was the one that had to be like negative 80 degrees. Like super cold.
I don't know.
Either way.
I wouldn't know.
But I like this monkey story though.
Yeah.
So the monkey dragged the guy.
And then he tore a monkey shaped hole in the net.
And he said I was totally freaked out because he goes, I don't know what the hell they injected that thing
Dude,
with.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, first of all, it's a wild animal.
Yeah,
I've seen 28 Days Later. Okay, that's the first thing I'm thinking, that I'm going to end up with the rage disease.
Yeah, the rage disease.
The zombie thing. Although I'd be a fast zombie.
Wait, that's what that was about? Zombie monkeys or something?
No, well, whatever chemical weapon they injected into the monkeys, and then the monkeys gave it to some people who tried to free them, and they attacked their faces. And then it progressed.
Facial abuse.
Until about a certain amount of time later. I think it was like 28 days. Then everybody became zombies. Yeah, I think it was 28 days later.
Wow.
I never saw the original, but I saw the 28 weeks later.
Which actually, as far as sequels goes, was really good.
Yeah, I saw that one. It was
pretty
good.
I saw 9.5 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw parts of that.
That's pretty good.
I saw parts of that movie on Fast Forward.
Yeah.
On Fast Forward.
And then I saw the prequel, 28 Days, which is just Sandra Bullock in rehab. So I don't think.
Yeah.
So there was that.
And then there was 4 weeks, which was 28 days, I think, right?
Well, they're talking about doing another movie to the 28 Days Later
franchise.
28
days later.
Months later. Well, it'd be months.
Oh.
So basically, like 2.5 years.
And then 28 years later.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about it. But as far as sequels goes, that was a solid sequel.
I like
28 weeks later was pretty good.
And I don't watch anything, but for some reason, someone came over and said, let's watch this, and I did. And then the part where the dude, he catches it and then squeezes his wife's eyeballs on.
Yeah. In the lab. Oh, yeah.
Because she was immune and he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
that was
he had to end her.
Well, he he caught it and flipped out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he was he was the one that abandoned her at the beginning.
Immune.
That was, I remember watching that movie and getting so pissed off at him because, spoilers, but they were living in a house with some other people and like kind of off in the middle of nowhere and stuff. And the zombies find him and they go upstairs and they're trying to find weapons and stuff. And like she's looking for him. And she goes into the bathroom and looks out the window, and he's like across the field just running away. He totally ditched his wife. And I was like, oh, shit. What an asshole.
Now, I'm stealing this from another podcast type guy named Gavin McKins, but it is a good point. Because what if your moment to show courage and your moment to shine and show your worth as a man, and you totally bitch out? Like he goes, and then you have to meet back up with your woman or whatever that. Say you're like, there's anything like robbers or terrorists come in and you fucking flee and just leave your wife and kids.
Like you're at like the ATM and somebody pulls a gun, and you like scream and run away.
Yeah, like leave your wife behind and family.
Oh, you still got to go home.
And he goes, yeah, like now you got to meet back up. Now he goes, I just found out I'm a total pussy. Because like you got to spend your rest of your life knowing you're a pussy, and she knows it too.
Or you like grab her and pull her in front of you like a shield or something.
Yeah, trample a few.
Hold on. We'll get you your money.
A fucking fire happens and you trample kids to get out of the building.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you can always make more kids.
I was trying to get out first to assess and then go back and get them.
Yeah. It's like you just throw all ladies. Or Billy Zane in Titanic.
That was exactly where
she's all I have in the world.
That's my favorite part of that movie.
Technically, though, technically that's not wrong because he didn't hurt anybody to get that spot.
No,
he just did a little, little.
Well, what's funny is like I have never seen that whole movie. Mm-hmm. I've only seen certain parts of it, and I've seen that part of it several times.
He was always good at playing a dick. He did it really well. That was that movie with the Black Cowboys. I forgot it, but he was a dick. There's Mario Van Peebles, and there's like a
Posse.
Jeez, yeah.
He was a dick.
Posse was a good movie.
He was a Spanish war criminal type asshole.
Yeah,
and then even when he's fighting Mario Van Peebles, he's like fighting gracefully, like an aristocrat asshole, even while he's beating him, Mario Van Peebles
like
up.
An aristocrat asshole.
He's beating him up like a rich guy would beat you up.
I'll show you.
Yeah, it was like, oh God, he's so unlikable. This is great.
It was, and he was in the Tales from the Crypt movie, Demon Knight.
Yeah,
he played the demon cowboy thing, and he was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, when he ruined his career when he tried to be the good guy. Tried to be the Phantom, or he tried to...
I love the Phantom personally, but it wasn't his thing. Oh, Sniper.
Playing the good guy just wasn't his deal.
Yeah.
All you got's the killing. Tom Berenger is another one that always plays a good deranged asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of Tom Berenger, I have something totally on subject.
Yeah.
All right.
Scientists have finally designed a perfect... exact model of what a dinosaur's perfect butthole looked like.
What is it?
Well, because you think of your butt, what comes out of your butt? Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Dookie. Yep.
Well, their hole was a multi-purpose hole.
Oh.
Everything came out of it. And they were able to reconstruct one based on a fossil they found, and they said it's the world's most perfect butthole because it does everything you need it to do.
So you shit and pee and...
Yep, and scent gland, so like it helps mask its own odor and stuff. It's like a musk gland.
Oh.
Is it?
Wow.
Don't birds shit pee too?
Yeah, so just like birds, see?
So they're more of a bird than a reptile.
See,
again.
Jurassic Park was right. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park was absolutely correct.
Yep.
So they do come from birds. So
I think they could have been, or it's kind of a thing, kind of like how certain animals, like a weasel, is kind of a dog, but kind of a bear, kind of a panda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're kind of different things. So they're kind of a bird and kind of a... That's zoological stuff with me. That makes no sense. Yeah. Sorry, I'm done talking about it. I have no idea.
It's the most perfect butthole in all history. There we go.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, cause like I've been, of course, like
unless you talk to Morgan, then Bella Delphine has the best.
Bella Delphine
has the best butthole ever.
All week they've had Planet Earth. Like all week they've just been running Planet Earth shit on BBC America. So that's what I put on to go to sleep because it's David Attenborough, and when he talks, I'm like,
yeah, anybody can sleep during Attenborough,
right?
Dude.
But but something I didn't know that there's some sharks that lay eggs and some that don't. There's some that actually give birth.
Oh, live! I thought sharks do live birth. Period.
That's what I thought too.
Across
But
the board.
Apparently, there's a type of shark that lays an egg.
Huh? Did not know that.
It's part of the shark family.
A Sherloctoraptor.
I don't know.
It's probably a megalodon, totally.
Yeah.
Well, that's
they're still around, right?
The one that I was watching, it was like in the Antarctic or something, and they were going way, way down in,
Oh yeah, ice sharks.
yeah, ice sharks.
So I haven't watched that movie. I'm going to, Jay. I promise.
They're the most deadly.
There's a new one called Sky Sharks.
No,
they're bigger than planes and they fly.
But yeah, I swear that's what they were talking about. I mean, I woke up and I was like, "What? Sharks are what?" No, and then they were showing like these, like I don't know. They had this thing that was going down into the Antarctic and into the ocean, like way, way down where they never go. It's like pitch black and the Frozen Planet ones that I've still like I've probably watched them 8 times and still haven't seen hardly any of them because I fall asleep.
Immediately.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the main differences between men and women, besides shopping issues.
Yeah, is
men can thoroughly enjoy hours after hours of educational stuff that's not. Are there any women that sit around and watch fucking just like Animal Planet all day? They might watch it with you because they're your wife and they love you.
I don't know.
I got home the other day and my wife had just finished up over the course of a couple of days 3 seasons of River Monsters.
River Monsters is a good show though.
And also his new show, which is called Jeremy Wade's Dark Waters.
That's actually a good show. Is that River Monsters?
It's not bad, yeah, because it's not flashy. It's just him going to fucking.
Does your
find
wife
shit.
like the Billie Jean King of?
Yeah.
Educational.
I just thought it was like another
She's a
stupid
total
reality
dyke.
show.
Yeah, a total dyke.
She's probably listening to this one.
My wife's sitting around watching Jeremy Wade.
Yeah, she watched. He has a new show, Dark Waters, and she watched the entire season of that because there's only 1 season so far.
We're gonna find.
And she started watching more River Monsters.
A river monster.
And he's a biologist, so he's basically just doing it scientifically.
I
He's
have
a fishing enthusiast.
I have on my Instagram. I have an astrophysicist, and she's always like talking about different things documentaries and stuff that she watches.
I'm not.
She's
so there's
really
two-
hot. She's a
there's
hot
two on
astrophysicist.
Planet
So
Earth.
okay, that was my next point. When you said that, you're like astrophysicist, and I'm like, oh, Alan probably found her because she's smoking hot.
She's smoking hot. She was on one of those ancient alien shows, and I'm like, or something, whatever,
Yep.
History Channel, the alien shit, and I'm like, oh my god, who is she? And then I saw her name, of course, and I'm like, oh, she's got an Instagram.
Yep,
Yep.
that's why you do it.
But yeah, she's actually really cool. I could like totally like hang out with her.
Yeah.
Even if she were completely ugly, you'd be interested in what she has to say.
I maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe
That-
because
that-
she's
that's the
because she's
litmus
pretty because she like the stuff that she like is into is like pretty cool, and so
S&M.
yeah.
So, Al, in this fantasy where your lips meet,
Yes.
That's awesome.
and you
I remember back.
she embraces
then.
you.
I remember those days.
And then
Now they can vote. Back when they couldn't vote, those were the days.
see, like, because if she embraced me right now, because it's been so long, I'd be like, oh, that doesn't usually happen that quick.
So she was on Ancient Aliens.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm fucking that alien.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the one it was. Ancient Aliens, and
So she's totally legit.
yeah. It was one of the ones that they do on History all the time. It was about aliens and stuff, and yeah, Cosmos.
History Channel.
Yeah.
I still watch it, but man, it's just so much non-history shit.
That's what sucks. That's what sucks
Yeah, I
about
can't- Every station gets rid of what like its core is. It
Yeah.
seems like at some point,
Yeah.
like, we're gonna get away from the music on MTV. We're gonna get away from this. They always get away from like what built them.
At one time, I was like a member of the History Channel. Like they had like this membership thing.
Yeah, and the magazine and everything.
Yeah, and I got the magazine. They sent me a freaking globe, this nice ass globe, and all these like videos and stuff, and it was cool. I'm like, this is awesome. And every month
Got your
they'd send
Hitler
me,
doll and
yeah, but they would send me like.
Einstein when you press the button.
Yeah, pull the string. Who's pulling Hitler strings? You are.
They'd send me like videos every month. Here, check these out. I'm like, this is awesome. It was cool, DVDs and stuff.
In the wintertime, put him outside so he finally dies. Trying to go into Russia.
Yeah. So I talked about this real briefly last week when I was talking about the Skinwalker Ranch and the guy was punching that dog thing and it wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to more of that podcast. It's Time Suck with Dan Cummins, who is a comedian. Okay.
Time suck.
With
Time
Dan
I've
Cummins.
sucked a dick and didn't even know it.
And so he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
He's been doing stand-up
Yes.
comedy for 20-something years.
Right.
But he's also likes weird shit and history and stuff too. And he's done like 270 episodes of
Well,
this show.
people can have more than one thing,
Yeah. But so I was listening to another one, and it was about Operation Paperclip, which is when they took the Nazi scientists after the war and brought them here, or Russia took them and took them there, and all is forgiven because you're helping us now.
Yeah,
That type
now
of
you're
situ-
building
Right.
our death machine.
Yeah.
Right.
So they started talking about Mengele and stuff at Auschwitz, and he was the angel of death.
Mengele was,
Yeah, he was the one
He's a
who
nice guy.
Slayer actually wrote,
Yes.
angel of death.
Yes.
And so he started off with he talking about the scientists. He's like, well, I wanted to get into this because really, it's like if we didn't take the scientists we took, Russia was going to, and they were going to win the Cold War. They took a bunch of scientists. We took the other scientists, what was left at that point. And I mean, I guess it's how you look at it. It's really, I mean, these people were not all forced into what they did.
No.
Most of them weren't.
No.
But some of them were. But either way, it's like it's you let them go to Russia and you definitely lose the Cold War, or you keep them away from Russia, but also have them help you in the meantime. I guess either way, he started going over stuff. He's like, "What is the stuff that these scientists did really that bad?" And they seem like they're really good people. And he started reading this stuff, and he's like, "All facts today brought to you by this super website I found called Stormfront.org." It's all legit.
Yeah, it's objective.
It's objective.
The Stormfront.
I actually laughed out loud at work. I was like, it's Stormfront. But Mengele sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Mengele really sucked.
I worked for him at the last place I was at.
Well, yeah.
we had so many bosses at that place, just like marching around. So we named them all after fucking SS guys.
The Fuhrer.
And there was a dude that I'm like, that's
Hey, look.
Mengele right there, man. They're like, oh fuck yeah. I'm like, yeah, he'll take you in the back and do some dissecting and shit, dude.
Here's Heinrich Schultz.
Oh yeah, we had Heimlich. Yeah. We had Heinrich Himmler. Yeah, that was this little dude Nick that I could totally he was just like this dude. I'm like, dude. He's just like a guy that I could totally if I had a couple beers, I would just totally start beating his ass, because he just he was a Weasley looking dude. And if I had just a couple beers in me, just to put a little anger in me, I would just immediately just punch him right in the face.
Yeah, my anger like that too. It does get worse depending on how someone's looks, because when I'm having road rage and someone cuts me off or something, and I'm getting really angry, if sometimes I can't look at the person, because if I look at them and they look a certain way, I'm gonna get even madder.
Yeah,
like, oh, look at this fucking dork. I'm like,
I always get mad when
they're hot. You're hot girl. You forgive them every time.
Well, yeah, but if they do something to me in traffic and I look at them and they don't realize they did something wrong, that makes me madder.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah.
Don't you realize what you just did?
Yeah.
Asshole.
You're controlling my brain.
Yeah, and then there's always the ones that afterward give you a dirty look. You did.
That's what makes me nuclear.
That's
totally
nuclear. They do the wrong thing. Sometimes you'll just do something modest like honk, like why'd you do that? And then all of a sudden they're swerving around It's like, you don't have the right to be mad. This is your fault.
All your fault.
Then it's like, yeah, come on, let's pull over.
Just like Mangala.
Pull over to the side.
Yeah, it's all Mangala.
Yep.
You know, that guy lived to be old, like in South America.
Yeah. Yep.
He didn't get caught.
He lived a happy life.
He lived.
Oh yeah.
He stole, and in fact, and then he stole someone else's identity while he was there, and he lived until he was almost 80 years old.
And he also was given a lab and continued his horrific experiments.
Yeah.
On villager people down in South America.
Yeah, like,
and there's one kid that this guy he fucking would do shit like throw the guy out the window to see what would happen when from the fall and everything. Like he kept it up. He kept doing the.
Oh, he was like he was a serial killer.
He was technically, if you want to get technical, the most prolific.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean, well, like they even going back centuries, they say that like Vlad the Impaler, like it became something that he couldn't. Like he was like a serial killer. It was something he couldn't control anymore. So he just had for no reason just bring people and I gotta impale them.
He really liked twins, like experimenting on twins.
Yeah.
He
was
like, and it got to the point where at one point he just took two twins and sewed them together to try to make conjoined twins at the back, and they were alive while they're doing this.
He's a complete psycho.
He would shoot dye into their eyes to see what happened to their eyes and stuff.
Yeah, that's in the
and
song,
to try to
man.
see if it happened. Yeah, exactly. But it was like
injecting cells, dying eyes.
It was, and he always liked twins because of something.
We've heard the song.
Yeah. But I mean, when I first heard it, I was like, dying eyes. Like I thought, like
so
dying,
together.
like eyes dying, and then like I'm like, dude, what is this song about? And then when somebody told me, because I was only like 13 when it came out, they're like, no, dude, it's about Mengele, and I'm like. And they're like from the Nazis, and I started looking. I'm like, oh, and I asked Dad because Dad knew all about history, World War II. Dad's our father is a history buff, big time. So then I started reading about him, and I'm like, Jesus, this dude
was pretty crappy.
Yeah, and the funny thing about the scientists, you're talking about Werner von Braun and then Mengele, and a guy was talking about it, an American historian and everything. He goes. The scientists were just as appalled as any of us by what they've found, but they weren't going to throw away the research papers.
Nope.
They're like, okay, this is what happens when you throw someone out the window. Because, ethically, because you're not evil, you're never going to do the experiment. But they had all this information like, oh, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And
well, we you mentioned Werner von Braun. We all have a special family connection to Werner von Braun.
Do we?
Well, we had an uncle who lived with us who had, issues.
Right.
And he wrote threatening letters to him back in the 50s and 60s.
Yes, that's
and
right.
The Secret Service.
That's right.
Came to the house.
Yes.
Oh, he wrote a threatening letter to Werner von Braun?
More than one.
Yeah.
Multiple.
I had no idea, and it got to him?
It's got to somebody because they had people on the doorstep.
Yeah.
You're not going to kill our Nazi scientist.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's our connection.
Yeah. I had no idea. I've never heard that.
Oh,
my God.
I'm sorry. I didn't know about it until, it's been a while since I known about it. But
so the person X who we're related to threatened Werner von Braun and got visited by
he wasn't the only one. There was a lot of Americans who did the same thing.
Yeah. He did. He wrote letters to many people.
That wasn't the only person.
Yeah,
there's many other people.
Yeah. Well, that's how they started putting. I mean, he was young.
He was young
when he did that.
So that's our special connection to Werner von Braun.
I thought I was really my heart sunk. I'm like, okay, we are German. I'm like,
please tell us you didn't find
our German
fucking ADL's going to come here and make us go.
Our direct German though has been here since the 1880s, so we're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Now there might be family members distant that we're still there and stuff, but we're pretty safe. But he also, again, with the Nazis, we're going to just talk about some Nazis tonight.
Yeah.
He had another one about, I don't know if you guys ever saw this movie called Indiana Jones.
No, never.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Never watched it 100 times.
Looking for the Ark of the Covenant and stuff.
Yeah, I think I saw
and then
that
later on, the Holy Grail.
twice.
The Nazis were really into that.
Yeah,
that stuff.
Yeah,
they were into the occult.
They were into the occult.
Hitler was
Eric Hitler, the quarterback. The quarterback, Eric Hitler for the Lions.
Derek Hitler.
But his episode about the Holy Grail, and it wasn't just a Holy Grail. It was the Spear of Destiny. It was all these different things. They were fucking nuts. Mm-hmm. And the guy that they followed, that Himmler listened to the most, Carl, this guy's name was Carl. Had this whole theory about everything, Hollow Earth and everything.
He was just Carl.
Carl was a legit.
Marxist.
Well, he was Marxist, but he was legit diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. And this is the guy that the number 2 guy in Germany was listening to about literally everything.
Isn't
hey, he won't steer you wrong.
Isn't Carl like isn't he the cartoon guy on Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Yes,
right.
He has the foreigner belt.
You guys.
That's could you imagine? That's the guy that he's following. Hey,
But also, George Lucas won't admit it, but there was a German archaeologist who a lot of people think that Indiana Jones is based on, but he was a Nazi. So he doesn't want to say, oh, he's totally based on this guy. We totally based Indiana Jones on a Nazi.
And we made him an American guy.
But this guy was one, the people are like, oh, I was a Nazi, but I only did it because of this reason.
Right.
You know?
Right.
This dude might have been legit. This guy was like super liberal, didn't do any of the other stuff that anybody else did, and also was straight up openly gay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he might have been like, literally just doing it.
He might have been actually meant it when he said he didn't.
Yeah.
And when he didn't find the stuff after like many years, Himmler's finally like, well, you're not looking for stuff anymore, and also you're going to be a guard at this concentration camp. And he basically demoted him. And the guy was like, oh, no, I'm not, and ended up killing himself. So
he actually meant it.
He actually meant it. He was one of the people that actually didn't
didn't
technically want to be a Nazi and never did any of the really bad Nazi stuff.
I like the, they're the ones that really didn't want, like the.
I just do what I was following orders.
A friend of mine from school met a guy and married a guy, and he used to hang out with us, and he had a swastika, and he was in prison. And he's like, I was in prison for a long time, and I had to like join the group and everything. And okay, and here I got a Jewish girlfriend, and he's like, yeah, I'm not really like that. I'm not really like that. And then he got drunk, and guess what? Oh,
he's
really?
Very progressive.
He was very like not.
He was totally like that.
Yeah. He was totally exactly like that.
Now there are a lot of guys you have no choice but to do that.
Right.
In prison, you have no choice.
You can take two sides.
But he was riding it out, right?
But he was drunk, and at first he was just like, and he's going like he's telling her like what he believes clearly, and he's going, you got to understand, that. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? That the Jews do like this and that, and I'm kind of listening to it, and
they run the banks.
I go, what's he? She's like, she just looks at me. She goes, oh, he's trying to justify that he's a fucking Nazi. And I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, can we go? I'm like, yeah, we can go.
But you should have stuck around and got the info out of him.
Yeah, maybe he could have shed some light on some stuff you didn't know.
Well, it was funny. We like tried to tell the girl I went to school with, a friend of mine, and she didn't want to believe it and married him. Oh. And then like went, oh my God, he's a total fucking loser.
Now I know who it is. I know exactly who it is.
Oh.
Because I met this guy.
I'm out of the loop. Okay, you'll tell me after the show.
I know exactly.
He knows.
I know exactly. He's no longer with us. No. He's not around anymore. I know exactly who he is.
Yeah, you guys, you'll have to tell me after the show because I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, well, you it's not someone you know well. You might know who she is, but yeah, I know who she is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
so Nazis.
Yeah.
Yep.
But my whole point was, I forgot. But
Nazi scientists were brilliant, evil geniuses.
They were, but and the whole defense that if we didn't take them, the Russians were going to.
Yeah,
dude, the Russians took 6,000 scientists and their families, so 6,000 people total, in one night from Germany,
right
when the war was over. So technically, they were probably right. They probably would have taken those scientists if we didn't take them,
right?
And we'd be living in Russian America right now. But
be like Das Boot.
But still, man, that's not really a gray area. It's like you basically, that's evil. You took some evil people and used them for your own purpose. But,
good. we won.
We won though. That's all that matters.
We didn't get 6,000, but man, we got a good one.
So
Warner von Braun was.
Well, I mean, we had a lot, 6,000, but they had tens of thousands of scientists working in Nazi Germany at that point.
Right.
Working on so many different things. Like, what's the group? The SS and stuff.
Yeah.
Had 50,000 foot soldiers plus a whole division of scientists. They had thousands and thousands of scientists working on stuff all the time. So,
well, if you think about like
6,000 is probably half of what they had, you know. So we got Werner von Braun, which was obviously the best.
Yeah.
You know. But
nobody got Mengele though.
No, nobody got Mengele.
Damn it.
They never could. They said that when the International Crimes Court would show up to bunkers and houses and shit where he did it, where he was, the tea would still be warm. Like they
just missed him
that much. And he kept getting away, and that's like it says, Al. He flies free at the end of the song.
Yep.
He was still alive. It was Argentina, right? One of them.
Somewhere down there, yeah.
Paraguay. One of them.
He probably bounced around different.
You're talking like just before you and I were born, he was still alive. That's nuts.
Yeah, like in like
the late 70s.
Late 70s, yeah.
I mean, seriously, I think they found out he had died, but they found out in like 78 or something that he had just died a couple of years before that.
Yeah.
But he had taken Wolfhard something's name.
Wolfhard.
Wolfhart.
They had there was also they established like really gorgeous like Bavarian villages down there.
Yeah.
That look like Frankenmuth. Like,
yeah.
And they're like beautiful.
Yeah, there's like no Germans were here ever.
Yeah, and they
we have no Germans.
And,
no Germans here.
And Tim Kennedy did that show Hunting Hitler.
They shit.
And then he said we'd find these villages with all German people.
Yeah.
And he goes because the knowledge was passed down of who they're. He goes, and they were straight up proud. Dad, this is my grandfather.
Yeah.
They were like proud, like how you would be about if your dad was.
Yeah.
My dad stormed the beach. They were like that, but with their grandparents. He goes, but what do you do? They didn't do it because you can't do anything about it.
No.
Because he goes, it's just, and who knows what they were told or whatever. He goes,
yeah,
you can't do anything.
Exactly.
Be like getting mad at like Stalin's grandkid or something. It's like he's not him, you know. It's
right.
Stop. Well, actually, I listened to one on Stalin too, and guess what? That dude was a dick.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Stalin was a dick, but man, this letter he wrote back to say, 'cause he was running a newspaper, and she's like, Comrade Stalin, this is exactly what she said in it. Well, not word for word, but basically she called him Comrade Stalin and said, I sent you a picture. Basically, she's saying, I'm interested in you. I want to hook up with you.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And he was married at the time, but he had the power. He could have done whatever he wanted. And he's like, Madam, I am sending back this picture of you and to let you know that I am not interested whatsoever in you and blah, blah, blah. And basically dissed her.
I'm a married man.
Basically, yeah. I mean, she's probably ugly, honestly.
Probably what it was.
But the way he basically, like, in the nicest way possible, in a handwritten letter, brushed her off and told her to get the fuck away.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Be gone, bitch.
But I mean, just because like he is an evil asshole dictator, you know, doesn't mean that he might not be like all into like having sex with a lot of.
Stalin was an emotional. He was if something bad happened to him personally, he was like a child emotionally. Like his first wife died, and then his second wife killed herself because something happened. She ended up killing herself, and his son had already died. So he had no kids at this point, or he did have a kid. I don't remember what it was, but both his wives died, and he was crushed because they had both died. So you know what he did to make up for it? Had every one of their family members killed, so he didn't have to ever see any one of them again and be reminded of her.
That makes sense.
That does. I mean,
twice he did.
Why? That. I mean, why would you want to remember it? Why would you want to remember?
He had them hunted down.
Every single piece of that bloodline removed.
Yeah, because
I'm good.
You know, he
now
would,
I don't have to think about it.
because he would still see them.
Your emotional pain is more than human life,
Yeah.
as we know.
Yes,
it was insane.
Yeah, well, you guys know who the very first public voice for animal rights, the very first.
Yes,
Hitler.
Adolf Hitler.
Yep.
He practiced veganism.
Yep.
He was like anti-hunting.
Yeah. They.
So if you don't eat meat, you are Adolf Hitler.
Well, that same show. So yes, the animal thing too. But you know the other reason he did veganism? Because somebody stupidly told him it would help him with his flatulence,
which
actually makes it worse.
Yes,
because they were saying he was extremely flatulent.
Well, it's like everything with vegans. It's wrong.
Like
they're always wrong.
Not like they've written about Hitler in a few history books.
Yeah,
just a couple.
Yeah,
just a few. But one of the things that always comes up is throughout history, he may have had the worst gas and flatulence ever.
Yeah, that's what.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it was like they said
that's why he was so mad all
there's
the time.
There's stories about that he would walk around just ripping ass.
Or like when they finished up their dinner parties, as soon as they were done eating, he would like excuse himself and run outside.
Yeah,
because he was farting really bad,
so
and they could not take it.
So now I'm getting to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
he was probably farted, and some Jewish people laughed at him, and then he just took that ball.
Yeah,
and just ran with it.
Well,
crazy.
And one of the things I also found out, besides his flatulence, and he had a bit of a temper.
He hated Jews.
Yeah. But he got an award, the Iron Cross, during World War I, which is one of the highest honors you could get. Somebody is injured in battles in battle and stuff, and the guy who recommended him for that award and actually presented it to him was the guy who one of his battery mates, who was a Jewish man.
Yeah.
And it was Hitler's most prized possessions was his Iron Cross. It was he wore it when he killed himself.
And the first person that he killed was that Jew.
No, that guy did eventually die doing something later. No, he lived. In fact, he was selling typewriters and stuff in California. That dude actually lived.
Oh. So
I'm glad he made it.
Hitler's, I think he left well before World War II. It was after World War I.
Well, he definitely left before the purge. I'll tell you that.
So, but Hitler's one of his most prized possessions was this award that was presented to him, and he was recommended for by this Jewish guy.
Well, now, did you hear the story about the man that rescued the little boy that was drowning?
No.
I don't have the quote. I don't have the story. Basically, a little boy was drowning in a lake. Some dude went in, got the boy out, saved his life. The kid was like going down quick. He was going to die. It ended up being Hitler. So this guy.
Oh, the guy saved Hitler.
The guy that saved Hitler's got like the rest were like, oh my God, that was a mistake.
Hopefully he left the earth before.
Yeah.
Hopefully all the evil.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on what you believe in, because if the butterfly effect is something that's real,
I mean,
if
the
you
Holocaust
kill Hitler,
didn't happen.
Well,
yeah, I know.
That was the other thing he said about Stormfront. It's anyways, if you kill Hitler, then does something even worse coming into that whole butterfly effect and whatever.
Well, or if you have someone, there's sometimes it's good to have a deranged person because they move to, like, Hitler fought on too many fronts and was crazy. Could you imagine if he was more the communists were better at being meticulous and installing it slowly.
Yeah.
Now, if Hitler had done that, it could have been way worse. But he was like, nah, kill everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ours for the taking.
Morgan's got some
yeah, I'll read that. Wasn't there a rumor going around that Hitler's hate for the Jews was because his favorite painter or writer was a Jew, and Hitler wrote to him many times, and finally he got a letter back saying to stop? Yes and no.
So he's a deranged fan.
Yes and
no,
no,
this is all about?
He didn't just write to this guy. He stalked that person. Yeah. As he did to a couple of different ladies at the time he was an artist.
So he wasn't stable.
He was not stable. So this guy finally said, look, you're nuts. You keep on writing me. Stop. So it wasn't that this guy was like, I hate my fans. Stop writing me and stuff. It was
Yeah.
this guy's nuts and he's a stalker. Stop writing me.
But, I mean, it's perfectly...
I bet he apologized later.
It's perfectly good
He apologized
reason.
with his life.
It's perfectly good reason to go out and hunt down
everyone
and destroy a whole religion of people.
Well, yeah. Because Carl, the guy we were talking about earlier, the paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys who helped with the idea of those camps. So they listened to a paranoid schizophrenic when they did this too.
Yeah, man.
There you go, Carl.
Good way to go, Carl.
Way to go, Carl.
Speaking of insane people, I watched the interview with that. God, I forgot his name. The mine hunter, the 6'9" serial killer that was famous from out in California.
Yeah, you're talking about Klempler.
Yeah,
Edmund Klempler.
Edmund, and
They killed his mom and her best friend.
And I watched an interview with him.
Yeah,
and then he talks about
Kemper.
Edmund Kemper, and
Kemper.
he made friends with another serial killer, Herbert something.
Yeah,
Hoover. Herbert Hoover.
Herbert Hoover.
Yeah. Well, that depression did kill quite a few people. But
Hooverville.
Yeah, but anyways, he described like when he met the other serial killer.
Yeah.
But the thing is about Edmund, he had a 140 IQ.
Yeah,
he's super genius.
He was extremely smart. Yes, yep.
And he goes, and then he got this other serial killer who, I hear the voices and they make me crazy. He goes, after I befriended him and I slowly gained his trust, I said, it had nothing to do with the voices, did it, Herbie? He goes, you just like to do it. You got off on it. And he goes, and I knew that because I was the same way.
Yeah.
And I knew that all this thing about voices and all this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because he was super intelligent and he understood human psychology. He's like, all that stuff about him being insane. And no, that ain't why you did it, Herbie. Because you just like doing it, just like me.
Kemper, yeah. His mother was like a wretched person. But,
and overbearing.
Yeah.
He hated women because of it.
Yeah. But he actually he's the one that killed somebody like young and he was like locked up, like not in prison, but like in juvenile.
Yeah.
Because he killed somebody very young and then lived with his mother afterward. Wasn't it his grandparent or something? But anyway, he came back out and then he was just, he got a job and was living normal life. But yeah, he really wasn't,
Yeah, he was, there was the interview, I'm trying to find the name of the other serial killer, but he befriended him.
Yeah, I do know. I remember. I don't remember the guy's name, but I remember him talking.
Herbert Mullen.
That's it.
Herbert Mullen.
Okay.
And
it wasn't Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
It wasn't Herbert Hoover.
And he talked about when he started killing hitchhikers and stuff. And he said these two girls, he goes, they got away, and he goes, I don't think they knew what danger they're in. He goes, because when they got in the car, right. I had my urge to kill was so strong. And they said, well, take us around here. And he goes, for some reason, I didn't want to kill them, but I couldn't figure out why. And they said, well, take us around here. And he goes, no, we can't go the way. He goes, I couldn't go that way because it was too close to the spot where I killed other people, and the urge would be too strong. He said, so I took them the wrong way and then let them out, and they panicked and ran out of the car. He goes, they don't realize that actually saved their life not going the way they wanted to go.
Right.
Because it was getting my urge. Like he said, it was the compulsion to kill was so strong he couldn't control it.
Wow.
Real stable guy.
Sounds like it. But is that the guy that made the masks and all that stuff?
No. He didn't do that.
Who's the dead skin masks and lampshades?
That's
and
Ed Gein.
That's Ed Gein.
Gein. Well, I don't know why I always get that. Oh, it's because it's Ed. But
yeah, but he his mom basically drove him nuts by bitching all the time.
Yeah.
And there's a show called Mindhunter that's based on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have never seen it.
The Netflix one?
But when you watch anything, an interview with Edmund Kemper, you can tell he's super smart. And you can see like, oh, yeah, he lured people right in. Because he's like charming and like you can see he's...
Yeah.
He
was the co-ed killer, though.
Yep.
I feel like the majority of those guys are pretty intelligent because the fact that you have to evade capture as long as you do and also can, talk the people into it and lure them in, you got to be, if not IQ smart, street smart. You have to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
That's what it was. They declared him paranoid schizophrenic after he killed his grandparents at 15 years old.
Okay.
yeah.
Then he was just put in a state institution, which he was released at 21, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
And then his mom insulted him one last time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I went to bed and I had trouble sleeping because I knew that I was going to kill her in a few hours. And he goes, I woke up at he goes, I got out of bed about 4 or 5 in the morning and I took a hammer to the side of her head.
I think he like killed her friend or something too after.
Yeah, he killed a couple people that
But mostly like when he was doing his, like when he was going out and finding victims, they
Yep.
were young female students, college students. But like those, like they were like his mother and like the grandparents. They were just, you know, people that he knew he was gonna kill him because they drove him nuts, you know, or whatever. You know, like his mother with their incessant bitching and
yeah.
you know.
So thanks, Ma. You totally made him crazy.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mom.
So, yeah, I'm always like, we were talking about this before. Like, women love those serial killers. I bet Mindhunter 80% of the audience is women.
I would say so.
They love that, and they love true crime.
Oh yeah,
And there's true. If we did a true crime podcast, we would have we'd have a following, and we'd
have chicks.
We'd be off to the races.
Well, we'd have a fun.
I'm not interested enough to talk about it every week.
No.
Okay, here's Richard Ramirez, El Diablo.
And plus, there's so many different shows that already do that as part of their format.
Yeah,
See, but what you got to do is you got to find like ones who've never been told, you know, like find stories about people that you know are serial killers, but it's never been because it was before they classified serial killers. Like
yeah, Oakland County Child Killer. Yeah,
like you got to find like shit like from way back, like in Germany and you know, like crazy places.
Yeah, Germany's always a good place to start.
Yeah,
it seems like
Germany and Florida, man.
They're just angry people.
Yep.
Or they have just, you know, I don't know what it is about Germany. It just seems like there's, because like, if I'm not wrong, Sweeney Todd, which was not a true story, but was based on something that happened in an actual German village.
I believe so, yeah.
Where he was killing people and then making them into the food.
Yeah.
Feeding people, dead people.
Yeah.
I believe that was based on something that happened in Germany first.
I wouldn't doubt it. There's tons of stories about cannibal killers in Germany, and
I believe,
you know,
Germany.
then there was like yeah, and there's like one that was I can't remember the guy's name, so I'm not going to bring him up until I look him up. But Brian told me about him because he read the book about him and said that he was that was like one of the. He's like, dude. He goes like the shit he did disturbed him. That's what he
listened
said.
to Disturbed and he got disturbed.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I can't find the actual story, but I believe the original story about the Sweeney Todd stuff was based on maybe it was Britain.
I don't know.
Where they actually he was killing people and then feeding them to other people and like the pies and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how you say his dude.
I believe it was a German tale.
Joachim Kroll.
Well, he
was a German. He was
even Dahmer. That name sounds really German.
But he was a serial killer, a necrophile, a cannibal. They called him the Ruhr Hunter.
Yeah, that's the one. That's another thing Edmund did. He did some dead sodomies.
Yeah, he was a necrophile and he was a cannibal too. I
didn't know he cannibal.
They said that he didn't like.
He dabbled in it. He was appetizer.
He was curious.
He's can curious.
Yeah, there was like a.
Hi, 25-year-old can curious Mal.
There was an area called the Ruhr Metropolitan Region that this dude basically. But Brian was like, "Yeah, dude, it was like he didn't kill that. He didn't kill like a ton. He wasn't like." It wasn't. It was just like what he did, you know.
It was like the two German guys that met on the dark web and agreed, "Oh, I want to be killed and eaten."
Yes.
And he found a cannibal that was willing to kill and eat him.
Yeah.
He's like, so I don't know what's more fucked up, the cannibal or the guy that wanted to be a victim of a cannibal. But they agreed on it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And but he said, before you kill me, I want to try a little bit of myself. So like, he hacked certain, I don't know what he ate on him, but the guy prepared some of some of his own parts to eat. Then he finished the job.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so
I don't get it.
As happens.
I mean, I guess, Well,
I guess they were polite about it.
Well, I guess, I mean, I don't know that I'd want to be murdered and cannibalized. But I guess, I would be curious of, I wonder what I taste like. No, not really.
I don't wonder what I taste like.
I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, I'm going to guess I'm kind of beefy and porky and...
Yeah.
I probably taste like shit.
I probably taste pretty delicious. I've got a lot of crap in my system.
Probably tastes like a tonsil stone.
Yeah. Yeah, someone's going to hit a raw deal if they try to eat me. I got stones and burrs everywhere. I'm going to choke.
Yeah.
I try to eat his nose.
I probably
they like somebody like cuts into you and they're like, oh, he's bitter. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh no, that's just his soul you're eating. His bitter soul.
Did you make sure you removed his soul first?
Oh man.
I don't think I'd be really tasty.
No, I feel like I would just, I don't know, what would every fast food ever taste like combined into one thing? That's probably what it tastes
This
like.
week on the Radio Underground podcast.
What does Brian taste like?
What do the people of the Radio Underground podcast taste like?
I'd taste like DoorDash.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I've been into lately is I've been eating a lot of Qdoba, those chicken and rice burritos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I probably taste like cilantro right now.
They're
Cilantro
good
lime.
things.
So
Big ass burritos.
Well, yesterday, one of the guys I work with, one of the newer guys,
coffee.
me and him were get along pretty well, and he went to Taco Bell, and I didn't get anything, but he ran to Taco Bell, and they screwed up his order at first. When he pulled up, he goes, "No, that's not the right price. I only ordered 4 soft taco supremes." So next thing you know, he got 8 soft taco supremes, and so he's like, "Dude, there's like a bunch of soft taco supremes up there." I'm like, all right. So
Heck yeah.
basically the dinner that I took to work is still in the fridge because I ate like 4 of those and then 1 hard taco supreme. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the palatability thing.
Yeah, palatability.
Yeah, I was telling him, like, we talked about this on our podcast. And
Yeah.
I go, anytime you want to go and subscribe, it's Radio Underground.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
I happen to know you can eat a Big Mac.
And then he was like, man, that totally makes sense. I go, when you like make something at home, like if you make a meal with like vegetables and stuff, I go, you actually like chew it. And he's like, yeah, you like sit down, and I go, yeah. But think about like when you eat like Taco Bell, he goes, I inhaled that shit today. I'm like, right.
Yep.
He's like, holy shit, man, it makes total sense. I'm like, yeah, I told you.
It's true.
You can pretty much inhale food because of the palatability.
The outlook for overpriced pizza.
I forgot about ads. They're the worst. Ads are horrible.
You get yourself a bacon
Sponsored content. No, he said, dude, he goes, it should have been like $10 or something like that, and they said it was like 18 something. He goes, no, I only ordered 4 soft taco supremes. And he goes, next thing I know, they hand me this bag, and I'm like, this weighs too much. I'm like,
but he only paid the $10, right?
Yeah, but he only paid the $10.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
and as soon as he grabbed the bag, he goes, but what sucks is he's like, I like lots of hot sauce, and I told him to put lots of hot sauce, and they barely put any in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, it just so happens that I have about 6 packets of mild sauce sitting in the fridge.
We went not last week, but the week before, and Danielle was like, just some mild and some fire, and they gave us our own separate bag.
Yes,
that was like a quarter filled with fucking hot sauce.
See, and then sometimes that's the way it is, and sometimes because like I always like the mild for the flavor.
Okay,
I've always been the mild for the flavor of it, but I like the hot. Good. But I, for the little bit of heat. Mm-hmm. And then when I was with my now ex-wife, who's not really my ex-wife, but she's like, no, you got to use one of each. She's like, then you get the heat and you get the flavor of the mild sauce, and you get the heat of the hot sauce.
Well, I'll do that, but I use mild and fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the fire just seemed like it always overtook the flavor of the mild. Yeah. That's why
Diablo's where it's at. If they have Diablo,
yeah, I'm not like I don't know. Well, I mean, I do like
smokier.
hot. I do like the hot. Oh, I haven't tried that.
It's pretty good.
But
yeah, Diablo's good.
I'm just like the traditional man. I like mild and hot.
Everyone on Earth, if you took a poll, it would be almost unanimous. The only bad sauce is the regular hot. Everyone likes mild, fire, or Diablo. Like the one that just says hot. Hot tastes just like it tastes like something that like the red sauce that comes stock.
Yeah.
In a 1990s frozen burrito.
Right.
Like
well, that's why I was saying like my ex was like, you got to use the mild and a hot together, and then you get heat, and then you get the flavor of the mild.
Boo! Hot never.
Well, I mean, but now, they have what 4 or 5 sauces, I guess.
But they used to only have.
It's the worst, but it's not like
they used to only have 2.
Terrible.
Sending me to my grave with AIDS.
They used to only have 2. The fire. It used to be there was no fire.
Nope.
But like if you go to the other Del Taco, like
Del Inferno.
When I first went to the Del, I'd never been to Del.
Yeah.
Until I moved out to Utah.
Now, don't their packets throw you off though?
Yeah.
Because the one that's the hottest looks like the mild color.
Yeah.
But I ordered like
absolutely.
And the black one, which you would assume would be the hottest one, is the medium.
Yes.
Right. But when I ordered it, I said I wanted the mild, and the mild tastes like shit.
Yeah.
It's not good. And I just it was like instinct that I always get the mild.
The mild looks like a
Bell,
ketchup packet.
and it tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
So the hot sauce is actually pretty good. So that's the one I always used. But anyway, so
for a time they had the salsa
and now
just
back
for breakfast.
to Nazis.
Yeah, Nazis.
Yeah,
like
the
Taco
salsa
Bell.
for the breakfast. Oh yeah, yeah. Like Del had these awesome breakfast taco bacon tacos, and they had this salsa sauce that would go on them. But you know what's awesome about Del, and I don't know about here, but you could get green sauce too.
Yeah, you can get green sauce.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They got tamales now too.
Their green sauce was really good.
Tamales aren't bad.
I used to just get those cheap bean burritos, but their bean burritos were good because they actually were they weren't that pasty shit.
They actually had chunks of bean in it.
Yeah, and they were good, and they were 49 cents. I'm like, yeah, give me 10 of those bitches. Green sauce.
Yeah, there was you guys remember the day the taco was 39 cents?
Oh,
yeah.
man.
You could get 10 of them.
Yes.
Fucking, it was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when they were I remember when that first came out with the 10-pack, and it was no, you didn't get, you could just get, all it was a box that fit 10 of them.
Yeah.
It used to, but it was originally it was $4.90.
Yeah.
Because it was 49 cents a
yeah,
taco.
it was for $5. You're eating 10 of them.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Good old days.
Oh, yeah.
Now you have to pay top dollar to eat shit.
Well, he told me
it's horrible for you.
My man Marcus at work yesterday said he paid, it was 10 and some change for 4 Taco Supremes.
Soft Taco Supremes are $2.49, I think.
Holy hell. Because all they do is put one little squirt of sour cream and a tomato on it.
It's not all loaded up like the picture says, obviously.
No.
But
don't get me wrong, they were delicious.
Yeah. That's the thing. I've never had anything that tasted that bad from Taco Bell.
No.
It's all very edible.
Well, that's the same thing I was carrying on about the hot sauce. Hot sauce isn't bad. It's just compared to the others, it's
definitely number 5 out of 5.
So bland.
Yeah.
But it's still decent.
Yeah, it's still you know what the real shit is that they need to fucking bring back? Fucking volcano.
Oh yeah.
That volcano sauce.
Did it have ghost pepper in it?
Whatever. I don't know. It was fucking hotter than shit, but it was
one of them had a high Scoville rating, 1 million
that was
Scoville rating.
definitely volcano because that stuff hurt, but it was so good.
But they probably got rid of it because someone probably got themselves fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't take it. So it ruins it for everybody, everything good.
You mean 20 years ago when the idiot spilt her own McDonald's coffee on her, and then they had to put she sued for $1 million.
It's funny that you think that was only 20 years ago.
It was 30 years ago.
It was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know it was 1990 or something.
It was 1991, I believe.
Yeah, but
so long ago.
But yeah, she opened it after she drove away and then spilt it on her and said, "It's too hot. I'm suing you for $1 million or something." I'm sure she didn't get that much, but all of a sudden,
no, she did.
No,
did she?
You sue a big company and it's a high
profile. It was 94.
You're gonna get money.
94. Okay, so all right, we're right in about the middle. There,
And everybody was so mad about it. Who doesn't know that coffee's hot?
Wait, you know what? She got like $1 million.
Yeah, that was a lot of money back then.
I mean, you know.
Yeah,
They offered to settle it for $20,000.
See, she didn't get.
She said she would settle for $20,000. McDonald's offered her $800.
$800.
But now we're gonna put caution hot on the fucking cup.
McDonald's admitted it did not warn customers of the nature and extent of this, how hot it was. They said it was dangerously hot. And
Don't fuck with me, retard.
That's what McDonald's lawyer said.
And it eventually, after the case was done, a jury. Okay, so no, she spilled in 92. The case was in 94. When
All
right.
Okay.
The jury awarded her almost $3 million.
Oh my
Damn.
God!
Wow.
For the burns she suffered.
Oh,
Fuck
you
her.
bitch! Whitey.
We watched that. I finally watched that with my kids last night.
Oh, we were talking about it, and I was gonna
Black Sheep.
watch it Saturday when I.
And that part, just I was dying. And Donovan thought it was great. Elizabeth thought it was funny but stupid,
Right.
which
Yeah.
makes sense.
Right.
But that part right there when he's like, "Kill Whitey," and the black guys are like, "No."
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so good. And then Mudhoney's in it.
Mudhoney. Yep.
It's like, so you guys are part of a racist, oppressive system.
That was like.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, but he says,
Mudhoney is a.
man, that sucks. I'm gonna go.
They
see
never
if I can
jumped
talk to
on. They
somebody."
never jumped on the big They had the opportunity to go, but they just didn't do it.
Yeah.
But they're actually they were like a great band. I had like pretty much every album they.
I don't remember what album it was, but Kurt Cobain said it was one of the best. One of his favorite albums.
Probably
ever.
Super Fuzz.
Muff something.
Yeah, yes, Muff Cabbage on.
Something like that.
I can't remember. Super Fuzz Muff.
But the song they were singing in that movie was so bad.
Yeah.
Stacks and stacks of rats on
and
rats.
Yeah.
It's like, and they said it a bunch of times, like, and we're like listening to it, and the kids are like, "That song's stupid." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. But
It is.
Mudhoney was actually a good band. But yeah, that was a really bad song.
That movie wasn't Tommy Boy levels, but it was still pretty damn funny.
It's pretty funny. Hello, Washington.
Yeah.
That fucking boulder.
Is that the part where he went swinging into the lake, or was that later on when he did?
I thought he just yelled "Hello, Washington" when he shows up to the cabin, and then the boulder shakes.
Oh, that's right. He did that too.
Yeah.
But then he also yelled it when he did the rope swing into the pond.
Yeah.
And then, Gary Busey's brilliant in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's so good. Love Gary Busey in that.
Yeah, the
good movie.
Drake Savage.
My kids had also never seen, and we watched it earlier today, the original Austin Powers International Man of Mystery.
Oh yeah.
They never saw it.
Never saw it until today, and they liked it. It was funny. Like when they heard the one lady's name, the Italian lady, it's a lot of vagina.
Yeah.
Domin was actually like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, you heard
a lot of vagina.
You heard it right." And the part in the bathroom where he drowns the Irish guy, and who does number 2 work for? It was funny. They liked it.
Yeah, it was.
But there's a song during the credits, okay, where it's Mike Myers singing it, and it's the same lyrics, just 3 verses of the same lyrics, but it's like a typical 60s British rock song. It's about the BBC. And he's like, BBC 1, BBC 2. Talking about watching stuff on the BBC.
Yeah.
And
it means something else nowadays.
Well, that's my point. So that's my point. So it's like kept on saying, and I'm like, huh. And they're like, how many BBCs are there? I'm like, channels? I think there's only 3. And Elizabeth goes to Google it. She's gonna Google BBC. I'm like, no,
don't do that. No,
don't
What's
Google
up, Tom?
that.
It's
Please,
gonna
daughter, do not Google BBC.
It's going to come up very different. Super Fuzz Big Muff.
It was Muff. I was right.
Yeah, Big Muff.
Big Muff.
Tom, that was their first one.
So that's how I stopped my daughter from Googling BBC.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to put "What's up, Time." I meant "What's up, Tom." Sorry.
We don't know because we don't have a screen.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
It's Tom. He's
Tom Alfred.
Tom
Tower.
There's chocolate pudding in my underpants.
Yeah. Sorry to tell you, buddy. There wasn't any pudding in that fridge.
Tom, have you heard about our anabolic Bigfoot hunt? We're going to go hunt Bigfoot.
Yes.
We're going out to the California-Oregon border. We're going to find Bigfoot.
It's true.
You're drunk off wine. Well, fantastic.
There's several of us that are going. 2 of us have to complete the terms of our sentence.
Yeah.
And then we will be allowed to go.
Yep.
I feel like you'll be done with that.
I will be done soon. And
someone would have been done, but they decided to drink and get caught.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
He would have been. He was like gonna get like let off everything like pretty early, and so he's got to prove himself again.
Oh, dude.
What a dumb shit.
Dumb.
He's like, well,
that's not you, right?
He's explaining.
It
like,
is not me.
He's like trying to explain. He goes, well, I
no.
usually timed it this and that. I said, Aaron.
No.
I'm like, how about don't drink until you're done?
Right.
Just don't.
So by process of elimination, I'm going to say this wasn't Alan.
Yeah.
No.
And just wait till it's over. Then you can go do what you
want. It was
want.
not I.
Because as much as Aaron makes poor decisions, he's not. He's not a violent person. He's probably not going to get arrested ever again.
No.
It's just, but so I said, just from now till then, just don't drink.
Right.
Yeah, because it's randoms.
Well, absolutely.
So he doesn't know when they're going to make him test.
Well, mine's set up like twice a week. I have to do it twice a week, but I have to call every day.
Yeah, Tom, you want to go? You can go, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, Tom, you want?
We'd love to have you.
I don't know if you want to get away from your family for a few days, but you can go with us.
But yeah, I mean, this week I had to go Monday and Tuesday, so now I haven't went all week.
Yeah,
I know that I probably could have but I mean, with me it's different. I've made the decision to never do it again. So
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, just there's so many that do. There's a guy at my community service. He's got he's got the damn tether, the alcohol tether, and the first day I was there, I was talking to him, and then the next day he wasn't there, and then the next day he wasn't there. He wasn't there Friday either, but Friday, somebody who goes there was like, I go, yeah, there was a young guy that was here yesterday, and I described him, his truck and everything. I didn't know his name, and he goes, oh, yeah, he got in trouble. I go, what do you mean he got in trouble? He goes, oh, he went out drinking like yesterday or something, and his thing went off. I'm like,
oh, boy.
I'm like, dude, he had 9 days to go, or 11. He was done in March. He only had 9 more days of community service,
but he
and
had
was
to
done
drink.
in March.
Don't you get it?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, he said he was done like March 4th. He's like, yeah, apparently he I don't know. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then this guy was like, well, you know how it is. I go, no, I guess I don't. No. I mean, because like I didn't have that, like any of the other times I didn't have that. I didn't have to test regularly, but so I guess I don't know what that was like. Because, this time I made the decision that I was going to remain sober. So, not because of probation, but because of life.
Yeah, in general.
So I guess I don't know, because I got slapped on the wrist 3 times before I, learned 4 times technically, but the 4th time is when I learned.
Not to belittle your struggle, but we should try to get a Tim Horton sponsorship.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at his cup. I'm like, you know what? That'd be cool if we had a sponsorship from them.
TimHortons.com/Radiounderground. It's our code.
Yep.
Get
you a free cup of coffee.
Type this in for a 10% off.
Like, I drank enough coffee there where I'm probably not going to sleep for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
They have a young student pissed off at you because you were there. They don't want to be working at all.
What? At Tim Hortons?
Yeah. Usually they're crabby.
Oh, they love making mine because
the one I went to is
I like the frozen well, it's not called the Frappuccino or whatever.
Yeah,
but the salted caramel whatever thingy and whipped cream on it and the whole shot. So get to work.
I just got a cold brew with vanilla shot in it. That's all I got. Less acidic because it's cold brew.
Less acidic.
Yes.
But also, I think she undercharged me because I'm pretty sure this thing cost $3 and change, and like she's like $2.12. I'm like, that's not the right price. But
so
in the last 2 days, I've underpaid.
Because the other one was
somebody paid it forward. Yeah. So I pulled up and they're like, oh, the lady in front of you paid for your coffee. I'm like, for real? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's awesome.
Maybe she thought you were hot.
Well, no, she's some old black lady, religious black lady.
So now here's the
fun part. She's like, well, do you want to pay for the person behind you? And I was like, nope.
No.
Because I looked behind me. There wasn't anybody behind me. So yeah, I just drove
very
away.
Good.
It was fun. So it was good because
plus, what did you say? Oh, you only had enough in cash.
Yeah, I didn't want to use my card
to pay for yours.
My coffee.
So unless the people if there was somebody behind you, unless it was like $3 and some change, no, I do not want to pay anyway.
Mine would end up being like some fat fucker like me.
Yeah,
and it got like the sandwich.
Yeah, go ahead and
a donut.
go ahead and pay for the one. Sure. Go ahead and take care of the one. The one behind you is 1958.
Those oatmeal raisin cookies, my God, I love them. They're the best.
Are they really good?
Like 4 of them. No, I'm just saying, like the guy behind me.
Oh, okay.
They get 4 of those, and then I want a sausage bagel leg.
Yeah, they tell him before he orders, like, oh, just so you know, the guy up here is paying for your food, your stuff. So he's like, I need some of these.
I'm just gonna start going like to fast food places and just hope that somebody in front of me is paying forward and just order a bunch of stuff and see what happens.
Yeah,
you know who?
I'll be like, oh, I thought they were paying. The people in front of me.
The guy over there is Seabass.
Never mind then.
Seabass is paying for our stuff.
Yeah.
The worst fast food person to get stuff for was Nick, our old drummer, because he would be like, yeah, you bought last time, I'll buy this time, Nick. All right, cool, I want. And he would order so much shit, and then you'd hand it to him, and he would eat like a third of it. He goes, I'm gonna eat the rest later. I'm like, no, I wasn't buying food for you for the day. It was just now,
right?
This meal,
right?
I wasn't like, I'm not. I told him that I got pissed off. I'm like, I'm not buying food for you for this weekend.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Just this meal.
So you could just keep reheating quesadillas all weekend and shit.
You'd end up with like 7 or 8 items.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck, dude?
This will last me all weekend.
Like next time, pick something you're going to eat in one
sitting.
sitting.
Like on Friday, it'll be like, I hope Mike's buying lunch today.
Yeah, that's it. But I think that's a universally agreed upon thing. When you buy someone dinner or lunch, it's that sitting.
Yeah, right.
It's not like that sitting plus leftovers plus tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like it's different if you go to a restaurant and you order like a meal. You know, it's one meal, but yeah, you might not finish it all.
Yeah, usually it's about 2 meals because we portions in America. But yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah,
but not like.
But you're not ordering food in order to plan for what you're eating next.
And he didn't even deny it. He goes, I'll get in the rest before I get hungry later. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's when you go.
Always stop at the grocery store and get you some groceries too.
That's when you go back out and get your own dinner.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, dude?
And we've talked about this before, but if someone says, "Oh, I'm buying," unless it's like my boss or somebody I know who has a bunch of money, I'm not trying to run up the tab.
I literally get just what I would have gotten myself.
Yeah.
When they do that, I'm not saying I'm a great guy, but
I might actually like cut back a little bit, be like, oh, I don't need that extra taco.
Because then it's exposed what a fat pig you are.
That too.
So I will dial it back. Would you want anything? So instead of getting the combo plus the extra 2 items, I just the number 1 with the Coke would be good. Even though you're like, that's like a snack for me. Fuck.
Like
it's actually worse when you get me food.
But I need
really.
a minus lettuce and tomato plus sour cream and just get it straight. That's all you get.
Yeah. Back before the weather, it was like in the fall or something. I bought there was just me and 2 other guys at this point. We hadn't went back to our regular normal shifts, and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy you guys dinner." And we went to El Charro, and they're like, they're all going, "Oh man, like this stuff's expensive." I go, "Yeah, well, I didn't say I didn't say you had to buy off the kid menu. Go ahead and order."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, okay," and then the one guy was like, "Hey, dude, should we just get like one of these big nacho things and like jam on it?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, order that too, man."
Yeah.
But they're like, so the guy who was picking it up, he ordered it so that they would have his phone number to text when it was ready.
Yeah.
Because he had to wait outside. And he goes, "Dude, it's like $60 something bucks. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, man. I go, we're gonna eat fucking good tonight. He's like,
that's for 3 people.
Yeah,
If you get
or 4 total or 3.
It was 3 of us, but we ordered that giant super nacho to go along with our meals. That's what, because it would have been about roughly about $40 or something. But
growing up, my family never got El Charro. The only time I got it was at your guys' house, the house you grew up in.
Yeah,
because your parents would get it.
Yeah,
and now my parents get it now, but when I was a kid, I don't remember them ever getting El Charro.
Well,
I only got it when I would go to. I'd go over and your parents would get me I would always get the combination dinner.
Well,
that's what they get me.
I think that's a little bit more because your parents were, no offense to my parents, but your parents seemed like maybe they're a little bit more responsible financially. It wouldn't buy a big, huge meal 3 times a week.
I can tell you it's not that.
No.
Okay.
They just didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird.
But my family was
like, we don't have any money, but let's go get El Charro.
Oh yeah, dude.
My family was
no offense.
My family really the only thing like my family would overindulge if they went out to eat. They would they always liked just regular McDonald's, which is actually probably my least favorite fast food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My mom and dad love McDonald's. And I don't hate McDonald's, but it was my least favorite.
Well,
that's probably why, because that's the only thing I fucking got.
No, I remember like being at your house and your dad would come home with a sack of cheeseburgers, and I'm like, I don't like cheese on my burger.
Yep.
He's like, well, then pick it up.
Because he would go there because my dad's favorite culinary item on earth is the filet of fish from McDonald's.
Ooh.
He eats it all the time.
Oh my god.
Well, the reason probably the main reason your family probably picked McDonald's though, in my personal opinion, is the palatability of the
palatability.
You can push it on the roof of your mouth.
Sorry, we keep going back to that.
You imagine trying that with a puffy taco from?
No,
you cut your face.
Which
off.
Also, isn't that like the dirtiest sounding food you can get from El Charro?
A puffy taco.
That puffy taco.
Yeah,
one in my mouth.
Puffy taco.
So yeah, look.
Eat the middle out.
You go lay on the bar in the place, and the girl craps in your mouth. That's
just walk in and place your order to the girl at the counter. I want a puffy taco.
Lourdes comes from the back and
give me a puffy taco.
Just like, sir, is your hand in your pants? No, it's not.
I'm looking for a cough drop. My
I'm
throat's
just getting
really raspy.
I'm getting my money out.
I'm gonna be real nasty right now.
Yeah.
I want a combination dinner too.
You want some of my sour cream on your puffy taco?
You want some sauce?
You got some guacamole. Wait, what would guacamole be? It wouldn't work, would it? So if you got guacamole on that thing, you got some gonorrhea.
Yeah. Oi, Poppy.
You want me to fill your puffy taco with my sauce?
El Charro.
Oh.
If you shop at El Charro, our code is
Yeah.
Radio Underground
Puffy Taco.
Only in the Fraser location.
And you get a free puffy taco.
You get chips and salsa because that's all they ever give away for free.
Yeah.
Right.
or that thing that's like a tostada that just has melted cheese on it.
Yeah, they
That's
call
their
it
nachos
nacho.
now. That's all they do for nachos.
Yeah.
And they have like they have 4 perfectly spaced jalapenos. That's like the much as you get on it.
Yeah, but I don't care. I still think it's great.
It is good.
It is.
And in fact, I've thought about what? I'm going to just get a bunch of tostada shells because they sell them.
Yeah.
And just put cheese.
Yep.
And then some. I'm going to make like 30 of them and eat them in one day.
Dude, you got an air fryer, right?
Yeah.
Just pop it in an air fryer for like a minute.
Dude,
it'll toast up. It'll be cheesy.
There's Neil will buy the cheap Kroger brand of nacho chips, and because for some reason they're a little bit crispier and they hold a little better in the oven. But yeah, we make nachos. We used to make nachos all the time, and just throw them right in the oven, man.
You can get because you can get a sleeve of those fucking tostada shells for like $2.
Oh yeah.
Just pop one in there. You can make a fucking Mexican pizza out of that motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
I don't do it.
I was wrong about the acidity of the coffee. It's making my heart burn.
Is it?
It's just a little bit though.
Yeah, I'm thinking of.
Is it the burning heart?
Yes.
Yeah, for the burning heart.
For the burning heart of mittens. Oh, we didn't even talk about the mittens, did we?
Mm-mm.
Burning his mittens.
No, the Bernie memes are phenomenal.
They're killing.
Yeah.
They're the. There's every now and then someone comes along. It's the perfect person and it's the perfect meme to make. Bernie, Uncle Bern, and those gloves and that mask. It's been phenomenal.
All over the place. The one, like you said, the one that I think it was Frank posted of him doing the armbar.
Yeah, or Bernie getting the armbar is my favorite.
Oh my gosh!
And then they got Bernie everywhere.
And what was it? I saw a gif of one. It's the Jason Momoa clip where he walks up and he unfolds a chair and sets it down and sits down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever seen that meme before, but they added Bernie to the chair. So when he pops open the chair, Bernie's sitting in it. He just sets it on the ground.
That's perfect.
Oh, it's so good.
Yep.
I didn't know what the hell it was at first. And then I saw like the mittens. Somebody put the mittens on OJ and he's like, if the mittens don't fit, you must have quit. I'm like, what the hell are these fucking mittens from? They're from Bernie.
Yeah. Well, guys, I want to end the show because I hate to say it because I'm farting like crazy because I have got to shit horribly.
That's fine. I understand that.
It's really bad. I mean, I could have you guys talk, but I'll be shitting for the next 20 minutes.
No, that's fine because I'm going to go home and do the same thing.
It's hitting me. All right. Follow us on all podcast formats.
Let's get to 100 subscribers on YouTube.
100 subscribers. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere. We are Radio Underground.
Oh,
I got to get to the right. Oh, my God. This is bad. Oh. Come on. Find it. Okay. Check us out. Radio Underground. I got to go.
Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground.